Welcome everybody to episode 82 of the ADV podcast. And man, do we have a good one for you today. Like, we got some important things to talk about. We've got some crazy things to talk about, of course. But some very positive news, actually, which we can't wait to get to.
Do we have positive news?
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
Hell yeah, we do. Can't wait to get into it. So let's saunter right into it with our What's New, where we talk about what's new with regards to China. Okay, now, before we even start the show, we have to make a little bit of a correction here, everyone. Last week, we talked about the Dune poster, and it turns out that we were mistaken. We thought that was the poster, the one missing the black actress Sharon. We thought that was the one being used in the cinemas in China, and unfortunately, fortunately, we were wrong. They are actually using the main poster, which you see over here, with the blue in the background, that one in the middle. That's the one that's actually been at the cinemas. We've seen photos of it and stuff like that, and we're very relieved to find out that's the case.
Yeah, well, the reason is we got some bad vibes because of all the other movie posters they've done in the past. So actually, when you go on Baidu, which is China's Google, that was the issue, is that...
yeah, you can see on the far...
It was the first image that came up.
The far left of your screen there is, from my phone, a Baidu image search. The first poster that came up for Dune is basically... the one in Chinese missing the black actress, and we could not find an English equivalent of that poster. Anyway, that being said, we'd like to show you guys why this is a big issue in the first place. We've got to look at what China's usual marketing is when it surrounds big Hollywood movies and, well, just an attitude towards race in general. So we thought we'd take you through a few things. First, we'd like to show you a little clip, which is kind of nasty, but we got to see it anyway.
宝，昨天在餐厅跟你说话的是一个什么人？
黑人。
是叔叔还是阿姨？
阿姨。
你以前见过他吗？
在餐厅见过几次。
见过几次？是这样子的，公主，就昨天妈妈跟你说，你可以跟他打招呼，可以跟他说话，其实这是不对的。为什么呢？因为这些黑人呢，他有很不好的习惯，他很不礼貌。宝宝，昨天在餐厅跟你说话的是一个什么人？
黑人。
是叔叔还是阿姨？
阿姨。
你以前见过他吗？
在餐厅见过几次。
见过几次？是这样子的，公主，就昨天妈妈跟你说，你可以跟他打招呼，可以跟他说话，其实这是不对的。为什么呢？因为这些黑人呢，他有很不好的习惯，他很不礼貌，有时候呢，在我们中国，有时候在国外做了很多去伤害中国人的事情。我们是什么人啊？
中国人。妈妈，我跟你说，我们是中国人，要保护好中国，要爱惜中国，知道了吗？
知道。所以呢，我们不能跟陌生人说话，不能吃陌生人的东西，不能跟陌生人聊天，不能跟陌生人走。黑人我们更要防范他们，好吗？
好的。
我们是
中国人。
我们爱
中国。
对，我们爱中国，爱五星红旗。
爱五星红旗。
Okay, guys, so for those of you listening at home, you are spared some of this ignorance, unfortunately. This is a terrible, terrible thing that's being done here, as a mother is teaching her child, her young daughter, who looks very cute and very nice looking girl, is teaching her how to hate black people, foreigners in general. And we'll just read out some of these particular things that we're seeing over here. She says, let me get to the relevant part at the end. Okay, here's the thing, Princess. Just yesterday, we'll read it out for you, for those of you at home. Let me mute that quickly. Here's the thing, Princess. Just yesterday, I told you, you can say hello to her, you can talk to her. Actually, this is wrong. Why? Because all these blacks, they have very bad habits. They are very impolite. Sometimes, in China, they sometimes do a lot of things abroad to hurt Chinese people. Who are we? And the girl says, Chinese people. Mom, I can tell you, we are Chinese. To protect China, cherish China, got it?
We get it.
I mean, the fact of the matter is, no, the important part is right at the end where she says, we can't talk to strangers. Well, you can't eat strangers' food. Can't chat with strangers. Can't go with strangers. We should guard against black people even more. Okay? She's like, good. We are Chinese. We love China, all that kind of stuff.
This, by the way,
Yeah.
we have to run a little fact checking here.
Yeah.
Because I do see an inconsistency in this video.
And what's that?
There's a bird in the video.
There's a bird in the video in the background.
Wrong.
Exactly. No, look, the fact of the matter is, I don't know how to say this nicely, but China is a very racist society, specifically towards people of darker skin.
Yeah.
Okay, me being an African myself, believe it or not, yes, maybe I don't have the black skin, but I was born in Africa. I grew up in Africa. You know, that's my nationality is African. In fact, even my country has the word African in it. South African, right? That's how African I am. All right.
Thanks.
Anyway, just putting that out there. I know because I would get discriminated against in China based on my nationality before they see me. So, you know, for instance, I get the cops coming and bothering me very, very often in my apartment simply because, you know, when they're told to check up on foreigners, for instance, they're told, like, go check the Africans. Like, you weren't bothered.
No,
I mean,
different
near the end, yeah.
It's different. Yeah, I was absolutely bothered at the end.
Yeah, that was different. That was because of what we were doing on YouTube. But the fact of the matter is, like, all of my other, like, Australian or American friends never got knocks on the door at midnight. I'd get them all the time because I was African. And they'd knock on my door and they'd see me. They'd be like, wait, what? Because they didn't realize I was white. When it comes to the hierarchy in China, the lighter your skin, the higher class you are. It's been like this. It's not just a recent thing. It's been like this for thousands of years. It's if you've got dark skin, it means you're a peasant. You work in the sun. You know, you've got some kind of a low class job. People with light skin, it means that they're, you know, like an official who sits in an office or someone who sits in the court of the emperor or, you know, a princess or something. So the lighter the skin, the higher up you are in Chinese society in the eyes of people. And that's why in China, they have a big issue with black people, Indian people, and brown people, etc. And I've seen this throughout the spectrum. When I used to work for a school that used to hire foreigners, they wouldn't allow me, and I was the guy who was going to interview foreigners, they wouldn't allow me to hire black people or Indian people, only allowed me to hire white people. It was disgusting, and I would try my best to get them in there. If schools hire black people, they give them a much lower salary, even if they're more qualified. Like, for instance, we had a situation where at this kindergarten that used to hire illegal teachers that I used to work for, we had a black guy who was from America who was an actual legitimate teacher who actually had credentials and history and like a, you know, experience teaching English. He was being paid less than some guy from Georgia. And I'm not talking about Georgia in America. I'm talking about Georgia, Russia, Georgia, who couldn't speak English. Because he was white, and his English was terrible.
You just pissed off so many Georgians. Or Russia, Georgia.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean. It's not the same place. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the closest I can come up with, okay?
Sure.
All right, from that Georgia, Russia area, Georgia, okay? That's what I'm trying to say here. This guy was being paid more than the black guy who was a proper, legitimate native English speaker. So you get the idea. Anyway, we've seen a lot of this discrimination throughout China in so many different ways. So we've lined up just a couple of things. We're going to go back to a bit of a classic from a couple of years ago. Sorry, let me get past this terrible indoctrination. I really hope that this this young girl doesn't have to put up with this crap and being taught discrimination and xenophobia for much longer. I hope her mother wakes up and teaches her that, you know, we're all humans and we should all respect each other. Anyway, here goes our fun commercial. Let's just let it play.
改变只需一颗俏皮洗衣溶珠，俏皮全国招商热线400-800-5086。
Okay, hang on.
It's a classic. It's a
Okay, why did I have to stop right
what?
there?
No, leave that on. I dare you.
No. Okay, hang on a second. Now, can you explain to the people who are listening at home what happened actually in this advert?
Yeah, this is an old one.
Yeah.
I covered this ages ago, right when it came out.
Yeah.
So I actually saw this in the wild before the racism thing came up, because I was living in China when this came out, and I saw this as a precursor ad. I think it was on QQ Video or something.
Yeah, it says, Yoku.
Yeah, it was Yoku. Sorry,
Yoku's up there in the corner. Yeah.
So anyway, it was running on precursor ads to videos on Chinese social media. Sure. And I remember when this came out, it's literally got a black dude that the Chinese woman pushes.
Very handsome black dude, by the way.
Yeah, very handsome black dude. They push him down into, this Chinese girl pushes him down into a washing machine.
She tricks him. She's like, come, I'll give you a kiss.
I'll give you a kiss. And she's like, now get the hell in here. Puts in this Chow B, like laundry detergent, washes him, and he comes out as like a bright, sparkling, almost like translucent.
A very handsome...
whitewashed Asian dude. Yeah, Chinese dude.
Well, you know...
like unnaturally white.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh my God, look, he's not dirty anymore, basically, is the implication.
You know, the thing about this is, okay, first of all, obviously that's pretty racist.
Shit.
I could put that up there with being a fairly... very racist kind of thing, but you know what makes it even worse? Okay, the cream.
Yeah,
of the
this
crop.
is before I saw people like, oh my God, I've already seen this.
Yeah,
that's not why we brought this up. We brought this up because for some comedic value as well.
Yes, yeah.
We found the original. It's actually not even its own ad. No, it's from Italy.
There's an Italian ad. We're gonna show it to you. Now, they use the exact same music.
Yes.
So this Chinese advert actually just copied an Italian advert from like, I don't know, the 80s or 90s or something to a T. Let's just play it for you so you can see for yourself.
08005086.
Bueno in them jeans and heels, belly button showing, got some sex appeal. Streaks in your hair, fingernails did up.
Okay, look, I mean, one might argue that that's almost as bad, but it's okay.
I
because
mean,
if you turn a white guy into a black guy, it's not racist because remember, like, you know. You
no. I think that's a bad take. Do you know why? Because the Chinese ad, and I'm not trying to be SJW here.
Yeah.
The Chinese ad is implying that black people are dirty, and you're using laundry detergent, which is soap, to wash away black. Also, you don't use soap to add color to something.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. The advert for this one is because it's like whatever is bleach for colors or something.
Right.
That's why it says
it's
colored.
wash.
Colored is better, which I don't know, man.
That might be stepping over some boundaries.
I think we're kind of in like a very weird kind of.
I think it's also kind of tasteless, but I think
tasteless,
that the Chinese one's way worse because you're implying that people are dirty. Sure. This is not. No one's dirty in this advert.
No.
You know what I mean?
No, and the thing is, it's hilarious how it's like. It's almost frame by frame the same. Like
that's the worst part of this. Is this rip? It's the rip off.
It's like a weedy little white dude comes in there. Okay, and he's obviously looking for some action.
Like, hey, paisan.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, Mama left the spaghetti on the stove, something like that. Okay, and the next minute, she comes along. She's like, come here, I'll give you, like, suggestive, I'll give you a kiss type thing, just like the Chinese girl did to the black guy. And then she shoves him in the washing machine, and then out comes this really, like, muscular black man. Which is kind of funny.
Both are bad. I'm going to say the Chinese one's worse because it implies dirtiness.
Sure.
That's my take.
Well, I think the reason it's worse is because they think it's acceptable, and in fact, it is acceptable because that advert only started to get pushback when like the foreign press picked it up and like, oh my God, how can you do that?
I gotta say, I was the first person to cover that.
Yes, and you were, yes. And
I interviewed a black friend of mine, which I told you to put in the media pack.
Sorry,
I
man.
knew you weren't going to do that. We have a big problem with media packs because we tell each other to do things and sometimes
kind of last minute. Sorry about that.
We miss it out. But anyway, I interviewed my friend from Ghana about that, and he kind of broke down more not so much about this ad, but about his personal experience teaching as a black person in China.
Yeah.
And he almost broke down in tears because you could tell it's not something he talks about very often.
Sure.
And it's one thing if you like go on about, oh, it's so racist, but you continue to live there. But he held it inside all the time.
Yeah.
And his whole thing was like, at first you don't care that the students say that you look like poop and you have shit skin and stuff like that. I mean, first you just kind of internalize
Try
it.
to like wash
you
the black
off.
you. Yeah.
He's like, that's fine. But then when you see that it's not from the children, that's from the parents, just like that clip you played.
Girl,
This is not an outlier event, guys, because my friend was like almost in tears because he was talking about how he would hear the parents talk about him right outside the classroom and say, why can't we have a white teacher? Then the principal would say, well, we only have Russians. They don't speak very good English. And this guy from Ghana, my friend Charles, he spoke fine. His English is fine. Much better than the Russian teacher, right?
Sure.
And they're like, I don't care. I'd rather have a white person teach my child. And that's gotta fucking sting, dude.
It's terrible. Remember, okay, believe it or not, we have black friends.
No
okay?
shit.
Now, it's not a defense to say, oh, I'm not racist or something. I got black friends. None of that nonsense. We actually have black friends. I mean, I grew up as a minority.
I'm honestly,
in a black country, you know?
Yeah,
I've
not
got
to
tons
mention
of
where
black
I
friends.
grew up. But no, the biggest point is how many black friends we made in China.
Yes, huge amount, because foreigners tend to stick together.
Yeah.
We went to remember we went to one of our black friends' weddings, Elvis. It was fantastic.
Yeah, that was a good
We
time.
had so much fun.
I talked to him the
Even
other day,
then-
actually.
and he was at your wedding, right? And
Yeah.
when he was at your wedding, just going up and down in the lifts and stuff, people were saying racist remarks. This guy's
Not to mention my people in my family.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say family. People that my family invited to my wedding,
Yeah.
talking shit about my black friends when they were there. It was awful, and I had to keep defending him.
Yeah, well, I mean, here's the thing, though. It's like his Chinese was better than ours.
Yeah, he's
okay.
absolutely flawless.
And so he's listening to this. We can all understand what these people in the same elevator were saying to him. And I remember, because we're all
He just
really
lost-
drunk.
he lost
It was
it.
so funny. He turned around and he went to there was this kind of middle-aged guy who'd been talking shit about him with his
He's really
rifle
bad
over there.
stuff.
Like, the usual thing.
Dirty,
Dirty.
black African
Yeah,
type
these,
things.
These black people are so ugly. and
Why
ugly.
do they come to
Yeah,
our
exactly.
China? Yeah.
So he turned around to the guy and he's like, "Ni hao, ni hao," which is hello, hello. And the guy just didn't respond to him. He's like, "Ni hao." He didn't respond. He said, "Fuck you, fuck you."
Until he left the elevator.
Yeah. And the guy was just in the corner,
Yeah.
But it's
We've had a lot of those moments where we hold our tongue because people are talking shit.
look, all foreigners in China understand
They
the
do.
discrimination issue, but it's usually, and I got to say this for
much
white
worse for
people,
black people.
it's usually in a positive way.
Yeah.
At least in the beginning, because people want to take photos with you. Kids will be pointing at you, foreigner, look, Waiguran, this kind of thing. All foreigners eventually get kind of annoyed with this. You get to a point where you're like, yeah, okay, I'm a foreigner. Great. Thanks for pointing that out. It's amazing. What an amazing insight you have, as you walk down the street. But imagine all of that stuff, instead of just saying, look, a foreigner, imagine it was all negative, like racial slurs. Look at this guy, he's ugly. Look, he looks like a monkey, that kind of thing. Because walking around with my black friends in China, when we walk around with our black friends, we hear that from the local populace just being shouted out.
You know what was crazy is that I had a black roommate in Taiwan.
Yeah.
He was a great friend of mine, but his whole thing was he was vegan.
Yeah.
Right. So it was much easier to be vegan in Taiwan.
Yeah.
So we'd go out and I would tell him, we'd go out to these restaurants or whatever and split pass. And he would tell me about maybe sometimes that he felt like it was a little weird that people were they weren't saying shit, bad shit about him, but they were a little bit weird towards him. And I was like, bro, you got to go to China at some point.
Yeah.
And I was telling him stories about that. And he was like, holy shit. I don't know how people deal with it, but I got to tell you, he was an African American.
Yeah.
The Africans that go to China and put up with this shit, they put up with it on a daily basis.
Yeah, it's very bad.
It's bad.
Yeah,
Anyway.
never mind the fact that, we had a lot of black friends and so on. I mean, I am more African than Michael Jordan, okay? That's just a fact. He wasn't born in Africa. He didn't grow up there, okay? I'm pulling on my African roots here. I got family there. It's my place, So I can talk about Africa. I know what it's like to be an African living in China. I don't know what it's like being a black, but I can tell because I'm with them, so I can tell what happens. It's terrible. Anyway, guys, let's move on a little bit here. We all remember the McDonald's in China that, had a poster up there that was being handed by this lovely assistant to black people to say, "We've been informed that from now on, black people are not allowed to enter the restaurant. For the sake of your health, consciously notify the local police for medical isolation. Please understand the inconvenience caused," and then the police telephone number. So basically what they're saying is, because remember there was that whole time where they were blaming black people for COVID.
Mm-hmm.
blaming black people or foreigners in general for COVID. But to say no black people allowed in a restaurant and at the same time report yourself to the police to be isolated, it's kind of racist.
Right.
Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I would agree with that. No shit.
I think a no blacks allowed sign in 2020 is not okay.
No shit.
I mean, so, you know, when we talk about these movie posters, which are coming up, we got more of them for you. When we talk about them, we're talking about it for a reason. There's this horrible situation in China where racism, and like very blunt and very high level racism, is still acceptable and it's still out there in the wild all the time. Like mainstream. It's like the government and the police and all of them. They are the ones who instruct and enforce this kind of stuff and instruct the restaurants to do this kind of thing.
Or kick them all out on the street.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we had a lot of nonsense with that. So, yeah, it's not looking very good on that front. Let's move on. Sorry. Yeah, here we can actually see the posters. Now, the reason why we jumped on the Dune poster was for the fact that this kind of thing has happened in the past. Now, with the Black Panther movie, okay, I was still in China. I actually saw the movie in China, okay? And when I went to the cinema, I saw, not this poster we're seeing here, but I did see this particular poster in the metro. I'm going to get us out of here. What you see on the left is the Chinese poster, okay? What you see on the right is the, I guess, English poster that's used around the world. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to blame Hollywood for this, okay? What they do is they basically put together a pack of posters to be used, all right? What they do is they very well know what the market is like in places like China. So they prepare something that they know is probably going to be a bit friendlier for China. What you can see again, that's the one I saw in the cinema on the left with the mask on. That's the one that was when I went to go watch Black Panther. I thought that was just the official poster. You've got your main actor, but he's wearing his mask so you can't see his face. That is the one. Now, the one where he's not wearing his mask was also available for the Chinese market. There is a Chinese version of this poster that we all know, that everyone saw in the West, right? There is, but that's not the one that was used. That's not the one that I saw. So you see, it's kind of like Hollywood is pandering to the marketing of China. They basically put together, okay, let's see. We know China might want to use this one, so we're just going to throw that in the pack and, see what happens. And so that's what we saw. And we saw that with the Star Wars poster as well. We talked about that last week. Now, this one is definitive. There was one version that was used in the cinemas in China, and it was the one on, I guess, if you're looking at the left-hand side of your screen. One of the main actors, okay, the black actor who played, what was it, Finn? Is it Finn? Or
Finn, yeah.
Finn? If you see in the international release of the poster, he's up there. He's prominent. He's one
of the main characters.
He is one of the main. It starts with him.
It's
like his story. Yeah. So he's really big in that one.
He's a great character too.
And then you can see Han Solo and Princess Leia and all that. They're kind of small. They're actually smaller than Finn in this one. But in the Chinese version of the poster, not only did they make Han Solo and Leia bigger, they also got rid of Chewbacca. I can't see Chewbacca because, they were probably like,
they hate hairy, scary beasts.
What is this ape man? Yeah. Get him away. They took the robot, that BB-8 or whatever, made him a prominent character, put him in front, okay? Made him huge, and then took the Finn character and made him so small that...
I didn't even notice him.
You can't even notice him at a glance.
He blends into the blue.
Yeah, he's just part of he may as well be one of those stormtroopers down there or something.
Yeah.
So you see, well, he is a stormtrooper. But you see what I mean? This is why the Dune poster thing was so confusing, and so it was so easy to jump on it, is because this is something that we're used to seeing China doing.
Yeah.
And China has a massive, massive racism issue. So, we're gonna nail it in a little more. We're gonna show you a couple more clips and a couple of things before we move on to our main segment of the show. So just bear with us. A short while ago on my channel, I interviewed this gent from Ghana, and he had a very unfortunate situation. I'll let him explain quickly what he was saying, and then I'll tell you what happened.
First started, and then there was this maltreatment of Africans in Guangzhou. So I spoke about it. Yeah, and then there was this day where I saw the news on our WeChat platform. Like in China, we use WeChat more often. So the Ghanaian society has a WeChat platform. So I was just scrolling through the WeChat group, and then they said, what was happening that day is a Ghanaian boy died, and this is what happened. They took him to 4 different hospitals in Qingdao. Yeah. So they took him to the first hospital. They said they don't know what is wrong with the guy, so they can't help. But of course, you wouldn't know until you find out. So they rejected. They went to the second hospital. The man said that he was a Chinese herbal doctor. He does only Chinese herbal medicine, so he cannot help this guy. They went to the third one. They said no, and they went to the fourth one. And then the fourth one called another hospital and told the hospital that this is what was going on. So the hospital said, okay, come over. So on the way to that 5th hospital, the guy passed out. He died.
Okay, so, what happened was, it was in Qingdao. A guy got really sick. This Ghanaian guy got really, really sick. And they tried to take him to a hospital and they refused entry. Then they tried to take him to a TCM clinic, which was their mistake. They were just looking for signs that said like hospital or something. And, you see the medical sign. TCM doctor didn't want to help them, told them to get out of there. Then they went to an actual hospital. They said, no, you have to go to another hospital. And then the guy died on the way to the 4th hospital. And, that was a very unfortunate story. This guy posted the story on Facebook and was really mad about it, of course. And then what it ended up doing was, this member of his Ghanaian community died because he was refused treatment at all these different clinics and hospitals. So what happened? The police actually deported him for making a post on
that's
Facebook.
Just like salt in the wound.
I know.
I don't mean to laugh. It's just, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, you could watch his whole story on my channel. It's ridiculous what they did. The police came and lived in his house with his wife and his child.
Yeah, they lived in the smoked cigarettes with his baby there
and stuff. And actually, they had 20 of them because they were scared of him because he was a black man. Yeah. And they lived in his house until he was deported, so he couldn't go anywhere. They had to make
or say anything. Yeah.
And then they got him on the plane, got him out. Here we have black people being denied into a supermarket.
Well, I can go. Yeah. I can go in and let you know.
This one that you're seeing in the background was actually particularly bad as well because the black woman was with her white foreigner friend, this blonde woman you can see in the background now, and they would let her in. They said that the white woman could go in. That was
fine, yeah.
Yeah, but the black woman was not allowed to go. That's why the white woman was there arguing with him, like, why am I allowed to go in, but my black friend's not allowed to go in? Right?
Yes.
And at the end of the day, they were turned away. So now look, just to show you that, it's some people know that this is an issue. Not all Chinese people are racist, okay? That's not what I'm trying to say here. That's not what we're trying to imply here. But racism is an accepted part of Chinese society.
That's the issue.
That's the big issue here, okay? Luckily, you do get people who are actually, of course, very level-headed. But, of course, they cannot say that. They have to hide their face when they say this kind of thing. So we've got a very, very level-headed woman here going to tell you a little thing here.
Chinese woman,
yes.
有可能很多的中国人都不太清楚什么是歧视，因为在中国的教育以及中国的教材里边并没有说什么样的行为以及什么样的言语才算是歧视。但我以我自己的理解，想在这里跟大家说一下，以个体的过错去论一个群体的责任，这就是歧视。所以我今天把这些问题向大家列出来，我是希望大家能够去重视我们现在身边的问题，不要再去煽动这些无脑的言论了。我们能够看到微博上有很多身带大 V 的博主，身带大 V 的这些用户，他们都在宣扬种族歧视的言论。有一个叫做酷玩实验室的公众号，他们在公众号上发布了一篇如何去清理洋垃圾的文章。我只讨厌两种人，一种是种族歧视的人，另外一种。
Okay, so what she was saying is like she's upset by this discrimination, but she explains that when you're growing up in school in China, they don't actually teach you about discrimination and this kind of thing. They don't teach you to be sensitive about it. It's not even part of the curriculum. It's just part of Chinese society. To be honest, it's a very discriminatory society. People are discriminated on depending on where they come from in China, depending on their
I was going to say, it's not exclusive to even race. My big issue with Chinese society, one of them, is that it's not the individualism clash of cultures, individualism versus collectivism, but that is a symptom of something that creates massive problems. And that's because people, like what she said, people are judged as a group based on the actions of one individual.
Yes.
And that is celebrated and that is pushed by the Chinese government. It'd be one thing if it was like some old person, but the government pushes this idea that if America, the president says something, then that's the fault of every American. So then now it's time to be mean to American people in China. It's really bad. And again, it's also, you saw it in Wuhan. When the outbreak started in Wuhan, you like to see this Chinese national unity thing they keep pushing, but everyone was going after Wuhan because the government was blaming the Wuhan government, which in turn people were calling people the Wuhan virus in China. Chinese people were saying that.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it works. It's this herd mentality. It's kind of like a swarm.
Well, it's awful that this young woman has to disguise her identity to complain about discrimination in her own country. That's how bad it is. And if you look at some of the things that she was sharing out, like this particular quote from a well-known Weibo poster who said, and I quote, "These are not my words. I hate two kinds of people, again, not my words. One is racist, again, not my words. The other is black." Okay, that's not a very good thing to say. Okay, that's a pretty racist thing to say. In my book, I would classify that as racist. Would you?
Well, of course.
Yeah, and of course, the whole throwing foreigners in the trash cans thing and showing them throwing a black man into a trash can, I would say that that's also pretty racist. I don't know about you. Would you classify that as racist?
Yes, I would.
I got to back this up because, these days it's kind of hard to tell what people think are racist because it seems like if you use a teaspoon in the wrong way, you're racist these days.
Sure.
But I would classify this as real racism. As in the boogeyman that people are always talking about, this is actually it over here. That's what I'm trying to say.
And right in your face.
Yeah. So anyway, she said she's speechless about those, and I agree with her. It's awful, and I feel very, very happy that she was able to express herself, and I feel very sad that she had to hide her identity to do so.
Imagine having to hide your identity to say something so on point.
Yeah.
So accurate.
Imagine if you wanted to do a Black Lives Matter march, but you had to hide your identity.
Right.
And wear a black mask, and
Right.
That's kind
of. I wouldn't show you in China then.
Yeah. Anyway, let's see what's going on.
You'd have to wear a mask for them to show you in China.
Yeah, you would.
难道不？
刚刚说了，他说老板不让外国人进，什么意思？
Because they don't like black people in. Oh, he just said it in Chinese. We don't like black. My boss told me not to let black. He said it.
Yeah, and of course we've got the culturally insensitive blackface that China does repeatedly, because this was the first time they.
That's a Chinese woman with a fake fat ass.
Actually, isn't it a Chinese man?
A Chinese man, sorry.
It's a Chinese man dressed up.
That's not an African person.
No, dressed up in blackface and who has a monkey as an assistant.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Like a massive fat ass.
Yeah. Anyway, we thought we'd lighten the mood a bit. So
this is unrelated.
Totally unrelated.
No, we didn't put this in because he's black.
No, but in the USA, Morgan Freeman, in his Chinese, he's just Morgan.
That's a great meme.
Yeah,
these are like the normies are coming out with some great China memes these days.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's good stuff. CCP memes.
At the end of the day, guys, we have to just reiterate, because unfortunately this whole Dune poster debacle has gotten people thinking like, oh, but China didn't do anything wrong. There is nothing wrong.
Here's the deal. So mainstream media outlets, you can put it on the first picture maybe so people just have an idea.
Yeah.
There was this debacle, and I saw RT talking about it. I saw some mainstream media talk about it. Some people were saying, well, it's bullshit that all these outlets got this wrong. Actually, China did use the black woman poster, right? So that, by what I saw, is the CCP sycophants running with this and even doing interviews saying like, well, this basically means that everything about racism that you've heard about in China is not true. Yeah. They're running defense for the CCP because of one tiny error. And actually, I was having a discussion with a family member yesterday about this. And tell me if you agree with this psychology. But what I've noticed is you can have a public figurehead, let's say, I don't know, a president or someone that's constantly speaking out, an actor.
An actor, yeah.
That's constantly wrong. They lie all the time, but they're very popular. Just lie after lie.
Like Alex Jones?
Like Alex Jones.
Right,
okay, this is a good example. Alex, so you can pick a politician, you can pick Alex. Let's just use Alex Jones.
Yeah, okay.
It's easy. You can have someone like Alex Jones that's constantly wrong and constantly riling people up for no reason and just being just totally off the deep end on most stuff for clicks, for sensationalism, we can say.
Yeah.
A lot of media does this as well. And then all of a sudden they'll say one thing. I can't come up with an example for Alex Jones, but let's say he was correct about
the frogs
some
turning gay
chemical
in the water.
Sure. Let's say he was right about some aspect of that, which I think he was.
He was actually, yeah.
Yeah, some aspect of that.
He was.
All of a sudden now, people who would normally be kind of running defense for him in the past are like, well, holy shit, that tiny 1% of validation is enough to make me completely support him and then go out of my way to convince other people, hey, you were totally effing wrong about this guy.
Everything he says is right.
Everything he says is right about this. And the flip-flop is correct. I think what happens is a lot of times you'll see like, I don't know, like BBC is usually tends to be quite correct in terms of their fact checking, not editorials. I'm talking about like actual journalism,
things,
or something, maybe us, where we like to fact check what we say.
Yeah.
And let's say we're right 95% of the time, 99% of the time. Then one little thing, one tiny little thing, like one misstep, which is corrected, right, based on good faith, then that's used to completely shut down your argument. Because now it's hyper vigilant, saying everything they say.
That's what they're
wrong.
Trying to say about this is that
right.
Like you said, mainstream media gets everything wrong about China, but that's not true.
That's what I'm seeing. They're blaming mainstream media for getting this one thing wrong, so everything is wrong.
Yeah, which is incorrect because as we've managed to demonstrate to you beyond any reasonable doubt, racism is a problem in China. Okay, not only from our own personal experiences, but by actual video evidence. Testimonials from African people living in China that we know, like just there's no way that you can say that China doesn't have a problem with racism. So we have to keep track of that and realize that if we want these kind of things to change, we have to talk about it. You know what I mean?
We're having a lot of Alex Jones.
What?
Some people are really mad. There's some Alex Jones people saying, like, you guys couldn't even come up with one time Alex Jones was wrong. No, I couldn't come up with one time he was right.
Maybe
I don't follow him.
Maybe it's because you're not taking your brain force. Bro.
I know. He's a showman. But no, people are disappointed that there are even Alex Jones fans in our chat.
Whatever, man.
Hey, we welcome everyone.
I think the guys are hilarious. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's some entertainment right there.
Yeah, for sure.
What was it about demons and goblins and stuff? Or what?
The only thing I've said, to be fair, and I didn't
destroy
get upset.
the child.
Destroy the child. Don't be upset that I use Alex Jones as an example. I have to admit, the only thing I've ever seen of Alex Jones is like a YouTube compilation of him yelling. That's all I know. Yeah. I just picked that because that's a pretty well-known example. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, continue.
Let's move on now. We're going to take a couple of super chats before we move into our main area.
Yes.
You know, which
Dylan Bennett says, glad to drop in again. What's the latest on the bait and rob initiative? Seems all has gone quiet. A lot of pissed off countries as it flopped. Okay, so actually, a lot of bad things been happening with the bait and rob initiative, especially in Africa and the Middle East. Yeah. Some trade routes are not coming to fruition, and a lot of countries are now wanting to renege on the agreements. But I think some South American ones as well.
Well, even Vietnam, that train's just...
No, that's Laos.
So Laos? It's not Vietnam?
No. So the Lao train, that's what I was going to bring up. That's being used as a, what's it called? A success story of the bait and rob initiative, the Belt and Road initiative. The Lao high-speed rail system that's going through there, that is considered a success. And they've been working on that for ages now. So you're seeing that a lot in propaganda right now. Chinese propaganda is using the Lao high-speed railway network as a success story. It says
Vietnam rail debt to China comes due, but trains don't run.
Right. I'm talking about the Lao opened up the high-speed rail. It's functional and that's,
I'm talking about Vietnam.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the news.
Okay.
Because that's actually part of the Belt and Road Initiative.
So is this 4 days ago.
Right, but the Lao high-speed rail network opened. It's functional, and I'm trying to say it did work, and so it's being used as propaganda.
Okay, all right.
But anyway, I don't know what the hell's going on in Vietnam. What is that about?
It just says that now they have to pay their debt back, but the trains aren't running yet.
There is no train. There's no high-speed rail into Vietnam.
No, but they obviously did build trains.
Where?
You want me to pull that article open?
I believe you. I just went to Vietnam.
The Cat Ly Ha Dong rail line in Hanoi remains behind schedule and costs have soared. Debt owed by Vietnam to China for construction of rail line in capital Hanoi is now due for
I thought you were talking about the high-speed rail network. No, it's just some
stupid
rail
train. The stupid train. Okay. Trains are not stupid. All right?
It's the Chabador Rail Network.
Okay, yeah, the Chabador Rail.
I stole that from the chat. Somebody said, Sumo keeps stealing from the fucking chat. Yeah, it's my fucking chat, dude. Of course I'm going to steal lines
anyway,
from
I mean, let's get another super chat.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Let me steal another super chat.
Sure.
Power Shift says CCP spends 80% of medical resources on 8 million people, or 0.6% of the population, leaving 20% for the other 1.4 billion people. Real life Squid Game. That's a good point. I actually talked quite a bit about the health network.
Yeah, that's good. If you haven't seen C-Milk's video released today,
both of
check it
ours,
out.
you need...
In fact, yeah, both.
Can you watch both of our videos? Because for some bizarre reason, we talked about quite similar things, but in a very different way.
Very different.
I use like stats and you talked about like a general thing, but they're both important.
Yeah.
And they're both, I think, necessary to understand real facts about why China keeps getting compared to the U.S.
Sure.
And I don't know why no one's watching them. It's bizarre.
Maybe people are busy. There might be something else going on, like a Super Bowl or something.
There's no Super Bowl.
No
I
Super
watch
Bowl?
football.
Okay, all right.
I'm gonna lose it.
All right.
Just a request. Charles says, just a request to hear Cotton.
Oh, coming your way, dude. Oh, what's that in the background?
You might as well segue.
Yeah, what's this?
Can you read that?
This is one of the one of the shills says, "We're not Communist Party mouthpieces. I'm certainly not." And then he's got like a Xi Jinping's book in the background. And
so who said this? Somebody sent this to me. So are you?
Yeah.
This is one of the many CCP shills.
Yeah.
I don't remember his name. What is his name?
Dead Barry.
Dead Barry. That's right. Dead Barry, because he looks like he's dead.
Yeah.
So he's another one of these sarcophagus dudes.
Yeah.
Even more dead than the other
exactly.
one, right?
He's
Dead
like,
Barrett.
Yeah, exactly.
Dead Barry, this guy, from what we learned, I actually talked to a journalist about this guy.
Yeah.
And he was just pissing himself laughing when we were talking, because we couldn't believe at how bad this shill was. It's like he was set up by the Chabador, like Chinese government, to make propaganda. It's like something out of like a 1997 webpage.
It's very bad.
It's so bad, and there's all these accolades. But
he's apparently the thing is they put him on Chinese state media. As a former BBC
journalist,
reporter or something like that.
Journalist. And the media that I was talking to, they're mentioning. I think they said this. If I'm not mistaken, they said like they had to go back and look, and he was never ever a BBC journalist.
But he once worked. He worked at a newspaper.
Oh yeah, in like a mail sorting room or something.
But he was never a journalist or anything.
Right,
so he could have done anything. He could have been the delivery driver or a
the
mailman.
lunch man.
Anyway, the fact of the matter is, you know how Chinese state media loves that kind of crap.
No, but stop. I just wanted, for all those that are not watching, just wanted to show the hypocrisy of this. It literally, in one of his videos, it says, "We are not Communist Party mouthpieces. I'm certainly not." By the way, he's banned from Twitter.
Yeah.
And he always slags it off. What does he call it? Twatter?
Like that, yeah.
Anyway, he has Xi Jinping's biography in the background.
Yeah, it's just kind of funny.
That was great.
Yeah, another little bit of memeage. Do we have any more memes?
Yeah, I think we do.
Let's see. Let's find out.
These are usually from the subreddit. So if you want to go to our subreddit, it's reddit.com/r/ADVChina.
Correct. I'm just going to fast forward. This is taking far too long. Oh, yeah.
I just want to give a shout out. There's no audio, so just play.
Okay. Remember last was it
Dead
Barry, get out of here. Do you remember last week we talked about Namawi or Namewi or how do you
Namawi, yeah.
Is it Namawi?
Yeah.
Okay. With his song Fragile, which by the way, as of today has 20 million views. It went to #1 on Taiwan and Hong Kong YouTube. #1 viewed video. It's amazing, you know?
Yeah, absolutely incredible. Good song too.
Yeah, it's a great song. It has a great message. And it just shows you that if you don't bow down to the CCP, you can still be successful. Because, in fact, what he's done here is by defying the CCP and making a song like this, which everyone is too afraid to do because they're worried about losing their careers. That's the thing. In the Chinese world, Chinese language-speaking world, they would never do this because they know that they're going to be banned from mainland China. They're going to be blocked out of the market. But guess what? By doing this, it's actually boosted his career. And now he has a music video with over 20 million views and counting.
Yeah.
In like a week.
It's pretty incredible. And it really, really backfired because the whole thing was these Wumaos were like, let's get this guy deplatformed at Weibo along with this girl.
Yeah.
let's completely ruin their presence on mainland Chinese internet. And what did they do? They came back with a rebuttal song that became #1.
Yes, it's amazing.
Incredible.
It's absolutely amazing.
So a bunch of little, a bunch of little boily shins.
Yeah, boily shin, which means a glass heart. Okay, so we're going to smack into our main segment of the show now.
Are we?
Soft power.
Did you even go through the rest of the media?
I don't think there's anything. Let's see. Okay, we'll see. This is how we do things over here. Very unorganized these days.
I organized this great.
Yeah, okay. Oh, we've got our NFT here. Don't forget, guys, Rape Ape and the Beach Monkeys NFT. Links are down below if you want to support women in trouble, being trafficked, etc. We have one correction. This is correction episode 2.0 or something here.
Yeah.
Or 1.0.
One update.
We've got an update. We made a massive mistake, okay, because we said the artist was German. He's not German.
Oh, that. Yeah,
He's
yeah.
Swedish, okay.
Yes.
Swedish.
I don't know how I messed that up.
No idea.
Why
anyway.
German? I think someone in the chat or something said, "Oh, did that German guy do it?" But anyway, I want to shout out his Instagram.
Yeah. No, here's the thing. After watching our episode, he was going to take a percentage of the sales.
Yeah.
Which of course he's more than entitled to after putting in so much hard work. It took him how long to actually make this painting?
A long time. Actually, wow, we got another bid.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Okay, good. Finally, you guys are coming through. This is awesome. Yeah, so tell them the very important thing.
Well, okay, the fact of the matter is it took him months to get this done and to get it sent to us and everything from Sweden and all that stuff, right?
Yes.
He has said that because he watched our show and because we're going to be giving, the majority of the proceeds to charity to help women that are trafficked and to help women that are battered and that kind of thing, he said that he no longer wants his cut and he's donating it 100% so that the money can go to charity. And that is something incredibly big of him.
And so for that, I want you right now, if you have your phone in your hand, or whatever, any device that you have, go to Instagram and type in HANSLGL.
So Hans
LGL.
That's why we thought he's German, because, Hans is a very German name. You didn't watch Die Hard? Hans Gruber?
I'm the one that said he was German.
Exactly.
So why are you...
I'm defending you here.
Oh, okay. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, and the Swedish bloke who was very nice. I can't believe he came through and said that. He was like, you know what, guys? The way he worded it was like...
He was like, you messed up my nationality,
he's like,
but...
you fucking ruined my life. I'm not a goddamn German. So he said, no, he didn't.
No, he didn't say anything
He said,
like that.
lol, not a big deal, but I want to give all my percentage to charity. So what are the charities again? Number 1, we have a domestic one, which helps rape, incest, abuse networks. It's called RAIN. That's for American women.
And the Coalition Against
Trafficking. That's our international one. So that's going to go to women that are trafficked.
Yes.
And to prevent trafficking as well.
Yes.
Horrible scourge on this world. Huge problem in China as well. But anyway, go to Instagram.com/Hans. HANSLGL, and please give him a follow. I notice he's probably got 100-something followers. I want to see that go really high.
Let's boost that up.
His art, by the way, follow him because his artwork's really awesome.
Absolutely. I mean, never mind that. Just the fact that he's willing to do.
Well, mind that.
Yeah. No, I'm saying never mind that because me, as somebody who certainly does not appreciate art at all in the slightest, because my tastes are terrible. I got to say that he really pulled out when it came to not only making this poster, but by being so generous.
He definitely didn't.
So he deserves a follow, just for that.
Can you go back to the oil painting? I want to talk about these for 2 seconds.
Okay.
So there's 2.
I'll get us out of there.
Yeah, there's 2 NFTs. Now, if you guys are new to the show or you didn't see the last episode, there's a whole story about Winston. He was a bodyguard for a rapist. Yeah. We're making fun of him in this painting. This is a real oil painting. If you go to the links in the description, you're not only going to get the digital artwork, we're going to ship this oil painting to you into your house with a signed certificate of authentication.
Yeah, by the artist and by us. And
both.
We'll ship internationally.
So we're not just selling some piece of shit digital thing.
No, it's not like a funny NFT.
No.
That is just the basically the certificate of authenticity. And if you know anything about NFTs, which are very cool. It's a non-fungible token.
Yes.
If you know anything about it, they are valuable and they are continuing to rise.
Yeah, you could technically sell this on.
Yeah.
Number 2, the next one.
Yeah. We've got another version for you.
This is a sketch that he made. I guess you could say the preliminary sketch to the painting.
I actually kind of prefer this. It's more cool.
I like the painting better, but this is I believe, charcoal sketch in watercolor.
Yeah.
But anyway, he did a sketch for the preliminary painting. This is also a separate one. Yeah. You don't have to bid for both if you want. This one's a bit cheaper. The reserve's cheaper. Anyway, these are both up there right now. I think they probably have until November 20th. We just want to build a little bit of hype. We want to get this charity money out there. We did a lot of research on charities that we thought were deserving of that. We didn't want to pick some random charities where the money's going to go down the toilet. We picked stuff that's vetted. It's good. We want to help women in America and all over the world in terms of sexual abuse and trafficking. We want to turn a tragedy, which is what you had to witness with hundreds of raped women, into something not only as entertaining, but something that can actually help women. And let's see the shills do that.
Yeah. It's not going to happen. Anyway, let's get into our main topic here, which is our soft power hour. This is how China is trying to change your mind and the world through various different means, including the media. And that's why we can get onto our main thing about the NBA here. Okay? We've got our crazy song.
Dude, we have to do that. It's the main part.
Okay.
Can you guys chill out about the NBA thing?
Okay, we got to show you the crazy
Or should we do the NBA stuff to get it out of the way? Because maybe just get it out. I'm not saying it's not worth it. I'm saying that you guys probably came here for that.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do it and then do it.
We've got another song for you guys. Okay.
My favorite part of the episode.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna do the NBA. We're gonna rush. We're gonna rush the NBA. Gonna rush the main topic today.
Get this bullshit out of the way. Okay. You know the shit that you came to watch? We don't give a fuck.
No, I mean, obviously we do.
Okay.
So in Sweet Carolineville, okay, which is Boston apparently, because people love to play that at the hockey games or whatever it is.
Okay, so can we actually explain that?
Yeah.
So I don't know why, my brother's hockey team was playing Sweet Caroline. So then I learned about the whole Boston thing. Boston Red Sox, Fenway Park. There was some baby who was born.
Yeah, called Caroline.
Caroline, right? So they played Sweet Caroline, you know that song, Sweet Caroline. Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah, don't get us a copyright strike. You're so pitch perfect.
I'm so pitch perfect.
Stop. Okay, anyway. Caroline. So they played that. And so apparently in Boston, you go to a bar.
Sorry.
And they play it all the time.
And in the stadium.
And that too.
Most importantly, in the stadium with the baseball game.
It has actually become the national anthem of Boston.
Anyway, they do that between the 7th and 9th inning. They think it's good luck now. What the hell does this have to do with that?
It's
Boston Celtics. Okay, yeah, that's Boston not even Celtics. The same team.
It doesn't matter. It's sports in Boston.
Okay, so somebody said this looks CGI. Is that CGI? I think it
could be. Maybe it's from like a Madden 95 or whatever.
CGI.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sorry, guys. I rushed this.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's CGI, isn't it? CGI. Anyway, okay. Here we see a computer graphic representation. You know what I mean? We had to run it through the crime lab computer.
We asked him to show up, and he's like, "Don't you dare put me on your show."
Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, the fact of the matter is, we all know this guy.
It's NBA 2K21.
Yeah, there we go. Told you it was like Madden 95.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
So the fact of the matter is,
brought to you by Vistaprint.
Yeah.
They made our old business cards. Remember?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Anyway, so okay.
This fine gentleman,
Enes Kanter is a player for the Boston Celtics. We brought him up last time. Yeah. It's important because he said free Tibet.
Yes.
And he had free Tibet shoes.
Yes.
That was a huge deal because in the NBA, they've capitulated to China. China's their biggest market.
Yes.
They banned people from wearing free Hong Kong shirts. They punished players for
Mori, the manager,
for speaking out in favor of the protesters. So it was a very big deal that he did this. Now, after facing obviously probably some backlash from the organization privately, he did more.
Yes.
He kept going.
Here's the thing. We've seen up until this point with every big organization, whether it be Nike or the NBA or any big company, H&M, doesn't matter. If they're dealing with China, if they ever take some kind of a moral stance, like with the whole cotton issue, or if they take a moral stance like in the NBA, like Mori did by saying, hey, look, fight for freedom, defend Hong Kong type thing, they get so much backlash from China that they immediately back down. They apologize, they delete tweets, they delete advertising campaign, they get rid of shirts that they printed by mistake, did not include the 9- line, that kind of thing. They always back down every single time. Every single time. This is the first time that they have not backed down. Like a big organization has not backed down like this.
Right. So let's rush through this. No, I'm joking. I wanted to say let's see what he said now, and then I'll tell you what mainstream media is not telling you about this is what we can predict is going to happen.
Yeah.
Thus the title, the NBA is kind of screwed because they're about to be if our predictions are correct.
Yeah.
Come on.
Man, you love to leave these in the media pack for so long. There we go. Okay.
This is not CG.
Are you sure?
I don't think so.
That dude's got a massive mouth. Anyway,
sorry.
Here's the thing.
Graphics are getting good these days.
They really are.
We could be CG.
Now, what you're about to see is a little clip from an interview with the artist who actually made the shoes.
Yeah,
the free
Badiou Cao.
Yeah, Badiou Cao, who made
we could call him a friend. We know him.
Yeah, we speak to him. I've spoken to him on Twitter. We've used his artwork in our thumbnails in the past, with which he kind of reminded me very politely to not do without asking permission.
He's like, can you not do
He's
that?
like, don't do that without asking me. We're like, sorry, man.
No, but we're cool now. We're totally cool.
Anyway, the fact of the matter is, he's a dissident. He's from Shanghai.
Yeah.
He moved to Australia, and he was in hiding and kept his identity a secret all the way up until 2019.
He was a bit of a maskman.
Yeah, I believe you have to be.
Yeah, I'm not blaming him.
This is something, and I've said this time and time again, as a Chinese person, to go against, to be a dissident like him, make art that criticizes the Communist Party of China, you have to have so much courage that it's unfathomable. I always mess this up.
Unfathomable.
Unfathomable.
Yes.
Okay, unfathomable. I got it. For people like you and me, for instance. I mean, look, him, myself, we've got family in China too, but it's, our in-laws and stuff. It's also dear family, people we care about, but it's different.
Dear family?
Yes, like DEER.
Oh, yeah, dear show.
Yeah, dear show, yeah. So the fact of the matter is, we still have family, but it's not the same. If you're Chinese, you have obviously like generations of family, real roots there. They've got great-grandparents, grandparents they can go after to intimidate you to shut up, okay? They can do all sorts of things with your assets and your parents' assets and your family's assets. They can do many, many things to get to you, okay? And they can use a lot of tactics that don't work against foreigners like us. So if you're going to make a stand against the CCP and you're Chinese, like Badiou Cao is, because he's Chinese from Shanghai, you've got massive balls, okay? You have to be so courageous. Yeah, exactly. Bigger than, the ball in the CG hand. Okay?
It's not CG.
All right, yeah, okay. Anyway, we thought we'd show you a little clip because it's pretty funny. Okay. I'm sorry, but that looks like CG too.
Everyone in the chat says they can't unsee the CG. He's real.
They got the
I swear to God, he's real.
Okay, anyway.
We have a real video of him.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Anyway, we wanted to show you this little clip from the interview of Badiou Cao with CNN. And it's important what he says, so please listen to this quickly.
I think what the Chinese government trying to do is building a wall to block all the information that we've been able to discuss in the free world. However, I don't think there's any wall is absolutely cannot be infiltrated. A great news like this must find its way back in China as well. Even though the Chinese government has, stopping the broadcast of Celtic's game.
They used it too.
There are kind of smear campaign against him and me constantly. However, this very gesture of blocking and censorship will make people question it, even inside of China. Because of course, they want to hijack the narrative. They want to twist our information. However, I believe there are still people, even inside of China, are interested in knowing the things different, to see the things in a different perspective. So a lot of them will using methods like VPN to go around the censorship, which we call the Great Firewall, and eventually be able to access to the information they're not supposed to know.
You're an artist, and it's in your blood. Your grandfather was also an artist, your great uncle too, and your family lost them. You know what the cost can be of being a dissident in China and raising your voice. Does it frighten you, what you're doing, or do you consider that you're far enough away to be safe doing this?
I think, to be honest, that we have to face this reality that China has been very aggressive, which means even though I'm not located in China anymore, that I'm still being subject to all sorts of death threats and the risks and the dangers all the time. However, I think fear is a choice, that we have to understand the dangers, but we can choose to be brave. We can choose to not to be owned by those threats. That's very important, that I think more people to join me, to maybe inspire by my art and campaign like this, so that more people would helping me to deliver the message, but also share the risk together.
You, and we've been showing your art, Free Uyghurs, Free China, Free Tibet. You've also got an art show coming up in Italy, and we can show some of the art that's going to appear there. You've got unofficial 2022 Beijing posters as well ahead of the Winter Olympics. Again, as we head towards that, what do you want people to see and to understand? And they're very graphic images. We're showing one now of a skater attacking a Tibetan monk. Very emotive, some of these pictures. What do you want people to feel as they see them?
I think art is a great a vehicle to convey the most important issues of our current world. And the motivation behind me to create art is sending this message to the people inside of China, as well as to the people outside of China, to building a better understanding of what Chinese government means, and what's the difference between Chinese and Chinese government and China. It's very important to message that the people have to understand what I am doing here has nothing to against my own people, Chinese, and all the criticism is very precisely against Chinese government, because it is not a democratic elected government. It does not have the rights to represent my people, the Chinese people. Well, however, in this exhibition in Brescia, that in Italy, we have received numerous of threats from the Chinese embassy in Italy, and from propaganda news outlets like CG.
You know, I want you to pay attention to what he said. He said, fear is a choice.
Yeah.
And we can choose to be brave.
I like that.
It's very important, those words. And that's something that we can all respect him for. And that's something that we can all take to heart as well.
Yes.
When it comes to dealing with the CCP.
Sure.
And it's very difficult to do that, especially if you're Chinese. You have to realize that. That's why it's important for people like us and whoever can to speak out. And he also made a very clear delineation, like we always do, between Chinese people and the CCP.
Very important.
You know what I mean?
So we're going to bring up these shoes and Enes Kanter. Mm-hmm. By the way, they use the CG
as well. They use
CNN screwed up too.
And I got to tell you, remember when I said there's positive news?
Mm-hmm.
The fact that this was put on CNN, mainstream media, which I got to be honest with you, I'm pretty sure a lot of our audience can agree. You kind of can't put a lot of faith in mainstream media these days, okay? They always have some weird narrative. They're always missing the mark. But this, to appear on mainstream media, means people are starting to take this situation seriously.
I agree.
And that's what's positive about what's going on. That's what's positive about this entire NBA thing. That's why it's such good news.
Yes. Yeah.
Because NBA is something that Chinese people love.
Yeah.
Okay. And I can say that blanket
Absolutely.
I can generalize all day and all night, because all of my students, all of my peers, everyone that I knew in China, if you're a man anyway, loves NBA. Like, bar none. I cannot think of one person that I met who was like, oh, screw NBA, I hate it.
No
Everyone's
one. I've
like,
never ever
loved
heard that.
NBA.
Yes. Yes.
So when the Chinese government is blocking certain games, you're probably like, why? You know? And it might give that little bit of curiosity where you might go out and try to figure it out. And then you might take a VPN and you might see, oh, look, it's because one of their players is wearing a thing saying Free Tibet. Like, why would they block that? And then you might read into it and you might find out a few things. So it's good.
I agree. So this whole thing with Enes Kanter and his shoes that ADVChina was designing for him, you can play there's a couple of different shoes. This would never, ever, ever, ever happen in the past.
Sure.
And what China's going to have to do is either block all streams of this,
Yeah,
because which they have. We continue to do so, or just pull the plug on all of NBA. So. Yeah. What China does in the prior thing with Mori is that they used it to stoke xenophobia. They're like, hey, this douchebag manager said something about Hong Kong.
Yeah.
They know that the populace of mainland China can rally behind that. They'll say, well, we hate Hong Kong. Yeah. We hate Hong Kongers. They're vermin, right? Yeah. So this guy's wrong, and we can say, oh, they're so wrong. They're bullying our China, right?
Yeah.
With what Enes Kanter is doing, he's criticizing Xi Jinping.
Yeah.
In the actual Chinese government. So the Chinese government can't even use that to stoke nationalism. They'll use like Chinese people as scapegoats to build xenophobia and nationalism. They will not let people criticize Xi Jinping or the Chinese government to stoke nationalism. So they have to actually just pull the plug.
Yeah, they can't even bring it up as a thing, can they?
So what they're going to do is probably selectively censor as much as they can. But what's probably going to happen if he keeps doing this stuff is they can't censor everything.
No.
So if this becomes a spiraling event, so if he's not the only player to do this, which I think he's going to inspire other players to do this, by the way.
Yeah.
If more players do this, then it's going to have to enter the Chinese market, and China's going to actually have to completely kibosh this, which in turn is a good thing.
Yeah.
Because it means the NBA will slowly have to quickly stop having to rely on the Chinese markets. And that's a net good thing because they'll stop censoring for the CCP, which is an authoritarian dictatorship. And that can have a knock-on effect to other companies and other organizations.
Hopefully Hollywood and places like that will stop making posters that, hide black people, for instance.
Or not only that, but just literally promote and go film in Xinjiang, in an area, get the local PSB that's actually organizing Uyghur genocides to go get permission and thank them for filming there.
Yeah, like Mulan.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. Yeah. So if we can make some positive changes here, like Enes Kanter is doing, it might cause a firestorm, and I do see that happening. I do think they're kind of screwed.
This is the best part. This is why it's so positive, is that after the initial thing that happened where there was some furore about him because he wore those shoes, the first shoes that he wore were the Free Tibet shoes, and he got completely blocked. All of the streams of the Boston Celtics, Sweet Caroline people, got blocked in China. Tencent stopped streaming them. You cannot watch them. Now, that first thing happened, and then you would expect the Chinese government to put pressure on the NBA, like you're saying, to force him to stop and not wear shoes like that and to apologize and to, that kind of usual stuff. That didn't work, and he doubled down. So now this is new territory that we've never seen before, okay? This has never happened where someone like him is now doubling down and saying, screw you to the CCP, I'm not going to back down. Even though he's obviously got massive pressure from his managers, he's probably got massive pressure from the entire NBA. But imagine the NBA fires him because of this. They can't.
No.
They can't. And so they're stuck between a rock and a hard place right now, which is great. We need this to happen more because it's time that the rest of the world stopped censoring themselves on behalf of the Chinese government.
Yes.
That's how COVID got to spread, around the world. Don't forget, it was also because of a similar kind of a dynamic. And that's why we see Hollywood capitulating, NBA, NFL, anything that has anything to do with the Chinese market, they self-censor, and it's disgusting. And it's about time people were able to say whatever the hell they wanted, because we live in a society that has freedom of speech. And we're allowing a frickin' authoritarian dictatorship to censor our own speech in our own countries, in our own sports, and in our own movies. And it's about time it was finished.
Agreed.
So that's why it's so popular. I mean, so positive, sorry.
Let's see what he had to say.
Yeah, let's see what he had to say.
There is a genocide happening right now. Right now, as I speak this message. Torture, rape, forced abortions, and sterilizations. Family separations, arbitrary detentions, concentration camps, political re-education, forced labor. This is all happening right now to more than 1.8 million Uyghurs in the Xinjiang region in northern Western China. Uyghurs are a Turkic Muslim ethnic group native to the Uyghur region. The Chinese government has been taking sweeping measures to crack down on the Uyghur people, simply because they embrace their own religion, their own culture, language, history, and identity. The Uyghur region has become an open-air prison, a surveillance state where freedoms are non-existent for the Uyghur people. The Chinese government has sent Uyghurs, along with Kazakhs, Tajiks, and other Muslim groups to concentration camps for simply applying for a passport, for texting someone overseas, or for believing in anything that does not align with the Chinese Communist Party's agenda. Anyone and everyone, athletes, doctors, poets, intellectuals, musicians, community leaders, you name it, are currently suffering inside these camps where the Chinese government is conducting unimaginable human rights abuses and crimes against humanity. All of us must spread the word and call on the Chinese government for free the Uyghur people. It is so disappointing that the governments and leaders of Muslim majority countries are staying silent while my Muslim brothers and sisters are getting killed, raped, and tortured. I'm talking about you, Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan, Saudi King Salman, United Arab Emirates Mohammed bin Zayed, Iranian President Ebrahim Raisi. It's shameful and sad how you have decided to prioritize money and business with China over human rights. You call yourself Muslims, but you are just using that for show. You simply do not care about people. And this goes to fellow Muslim athletes as well. Why are you staying silent? Mohammed Salah, Karim Abdul-Jabbar, Amir Khan, say something, do something, speak up. Your silence and your inaction is complicit. To those of you watching who care about human dignity, please join me in spreading the word. What is happening to the Uyghurs is one of the worst human rights abuses in the world today. We cannot stay silent. Heartless dictator of China, Xi Jinping, and the Communist Party of China, I'm calling you out right now in front of the whole world. Close down the slave labor camps and free the Uyghur people. Stop the genocide now.
Well, there we go.
Don't see that often, do you? Huh?
No.
Not only in sports, just period.
Yeah.
Other than people like us, you know what I mean? Like another human rights activist.
You need people like this. You need these athletes to stand up because they're very influential, and people take what they say seriously.
The absolute Dazek's on that guy.
I know. Wait, what was that? No, let's not forget about Peter Balsack, also known as Peter Daszak. Him and his Eco Death Alliance, or Eco Health Alliance, is one of the reasons why the Chinese government got away with what they got away with.
Yeah.
He really ran defense for them. And let's not forget what he did. Anyway, no joke. But to have someone with influence speak out finally is great. Because just the thought that all these companies and all these governments are very happy to deal with China when they know for a fact that something bad's going on there with regards to human rights. Even if they didn't know for sure, but there are enough rumors and enough stories, you should still be like, wait a minute here. We probably shouldn't be doing this if they're concentration camps.
Yeah.
Let's make sure before we continue to, suck the jiba of China and listen to everything that, and deal with China so much and let them have the Beijing Olympics and all that, Winter Olympics. Surely we should, do a little bit of an investigation. But no, everyone's just like, nah, nothing to see here. We need people like him calling it out because it draws attention.
Legend.
And this is super, super important.
Legend. And he's not CG, I promise.
No, he's definitely a real person. So what are we going to do next? I really want to do that song.
Fine. I mean, we're running low on time. What do you guys think? I'll check the chat. Do you want to see a music video? Or you want to save it for the funny part of the next episode? Like the beginning part.
Do you want to see this song?
It's a propaganda song that we found about the Olympics. It's amazing.
It kind of ties in.
We'll do some super chats quick.
Okay.
Just Wave says, appreciate all your content. Thank you very much. I love the Rogue from X-Men look. Is that you?
Who's doing that? It must be your hair.
Oh,
Isn't that Rogue? No.
Oh, I mean, my hair is always like this. So.
Okay.
Dan Ketchatori, I haven't seen you in a while. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Very
Halloween. How about we all go dressed as Winnie the Pooh in costume labeled as Ryan? That sounds about correct, but it'll show everyone where we are.
Actually thinking about getting my daughter a Winnie the Pooh costume to wear.
Nice. Son of a bitch. Everyone wants this song.
Yes.
Just a sec. Sorry. Another for Peter Balsack.
Really? We got a Balsack? Forget who he is.
And one for Manners as well.
Oh, you got a Manners. Okay. Oh yeah, this Taiwan thing in the background. We might mention that as well.
It's important. Let me just cover that first.
Okay, can we do that quickly?
Yeah.
Let's get it out the way.
let's just rush into this.
Yeah.
This is the priority of ADV Podcast. We have very important news to cover and like really important things, but we're prioritizing a bullshit Winter Olympics white monkey.
我要听音乐，我要唱歌。
That's what everyone say. This is bullshit. We got to cover the important shit first. We got to eat our salad. Okay? Eat our salad before we have our dessert.
You want more? Okay, let's do it. So what's going on?
We got to eat our vegetables.
What's going on with Taiwan?
So, you've seen these headlines all over the place. It's always about the red line. And the red line
got
is...
a lot of red lines.
We got a lot of red lines. And China, well, specifically Xi Jinping keeps saying, don't cross that red line. The red line has been even talking about Taiwan.
Yeah.
The red line has been, don't sell weapons to Taiwan. The red line has been, don't talk about Taiwanese independence. The red line has been, don't you dare let the DPP get elected. And that's the current political party.
Yeah.
The red line...
Don't land a plane, like no military plane
No
is
military
allowed to
plane allowed.
land.
Lands
Woo,
plane.
Lands a plane. Don't
sail
the ship. Don't
Don't
you dare send a ship to this specific port.
The red line is just a red piece of paper. It's stained with red ink at this point.
It's
right?
just like everything else that comes out of the Chinese government. It's just blah, blah, blah.
That's why we've never jumped on this.
It's like
they're going to get invaded.
The GDP numbers
Yeah,
and they're lifting people out of poverty. They just say stuff. Or, we're doing good stuff for the environment by burning more coal than before.
Right.
You know?
Correct. So this line red line has been crossed so many times, specifically by the U.S.
Yeah. Maybe they need to change a different color.
I mean, yeah, maybe a yellow line.
Because red is actually luck in China.
It's a good line.
Color. It's a good color in China. Yeah.
If you guys are new here, the stock market, when a stock goes up, it's red.
Yeah.
And when it goes down, it's
when
green.
You're in China, you're like, what? My stocks are falling. But meanwhile, they're going up. If it's green, it's bad luck.
It's so weird.
It is weird. So maybe they need to put a green line.
Yes. So long story short, this red line has been crossed 1 billion times. We keep... The best one is when they said if one piece of military equipment with Americans on it ever lands in Taiwan, and it was like this massive transport plane landed in Taiwan. So anyway, the worst red line possible is having American soldiers on Taiwanese soil, because that breaches the One China policy.
Sure.
And China has said every time, when the red line is breached, we're going to invade Taiwan.
Yes.
Well, here we go. Tsai Ing-wen herself. Let's listen.
Yeah, what does the president of the Taiwanese country have to say? Let's see.
Yeah, wait for this.
Let's do it.
I just wanted to show a lot of these red lines. These
are
all different headlines, by the way.
Oh, yeah, they are from different things.
President Tsai confirms exclusively to CNN, U.S. support goes beyond selling weapons. Does that support include sending some U.S. service members to help train Taiwanese troops?
Well, yes. We have a wide range of cooperation with the U.S. Aiming at increasing our defense capability.
So there are American soldiers currently, Special Forces currently training Taiwanese soldiers, which China yet again has said that is the red line you just cannot cross. So where does the red line actually end is what I really want to know.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of bollocks.
I don't know where it ends.
It just doesn't. Okay, so...
All right. Why was that doing in there?
I don't know why you put that in there.
I didn't put that in there.
Well, you made the media pack. Anyway, guys.
Did that show up?
Yeah, that's in your media pack.
I did not put that in there.
You put that in there.
I did not put that in there. I did not
Seymour put that in there.
I did not. I didn't put that in there. Get that off the screen. That's unrelated.
Yeah, that's your latest crush.
Get it off.
Why did you put that in the media pack?
I did not. You obviously sent this to me with the media.
No, I didn't.
You did.
Absolutely not.
I put your shit in this pack.
Absolutely not.
That's yours.
Anyway, so here's the thing, guys.
Son of a bitch.
Here's the song. Okay. Now, before anyone...
you set this up.
Yeah, before anyone wonders where the song comes from, it comes from Xinhua News, also known as its what would you call it? Its spy name is New China.
Yeah, it's spy. That's a good way to put it. It's spy name.
Yeah.
It's spy. We say spy name because they do these rebrands in English. So Xinhua is one of the biggest news networks in China, state media.
Yeah, so it's New China,
TV. And the Global Link is their propaganda department.
So they got Global Link and New China. This, by the way, you hear New China, you hear Global Link. It's just a propaganda arm of the Chinese government. Okay, don't be fooled. Just like they changed CCTV to CGTN, and they've been changing a bunch of names. Like the Confucius Institute was changed to like Chinese language something or other. You know, they do this so that they try to fool you. Anyway, let's look at this lovely song.
Well, we set it up.
Yeah, it's for the Beijing Olympics.
So you guys have to understand how much the budgets are for normal Olympics. Don't read the chat.
Yeah.
Some people are very concerned about that image that popped up. So the budget that goes into the propaganda for any international event is insane, because the whole point is that they want people to look at China as like a massive, massive superpower.
Yeah.
Now the issue is there's so much shit about boycotting Beijing Olympics.
Yes.
And there's also, they've banned foreigners from going to see it.
Yeah.
So you can't go to Beijing to watch it. So their budget kind of went from here down to here. They're like, fuck it. Like, we'll get $10.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to see this.
So what they've done is it's kind of like looks like a Disney Frozen soundtrack in the beginning.
Not even made for TV, like a
we just
Flash
gotta show
game.
it. We'll show it, but we're gonna pause it from time to time to talk about it. So here we go.
It's incredible.
Yeah. That guy.
Who is this guy?
We got something to say in a minute.
I've only seen this like half-assed.
I'll get us out of it.
Okay. Who is she? She says she's a singer. She's definitely not a singer. So she's the president of the athletes.
Cool.
This is awful.
Yep.
Compare this to like the 2001 or 2008 Olympics.
They couldn't get his
They couldn't even dub him correctly.
No, they couldn't dub him. Yeah. Anyway, it gets better, guys. Don't worry.
Yeah, they really ran out of. What is the point of the ice?
He likes cold. Oh, maybe it's like, don't worry, we won't give you hot water this time.
Probably.
Yeah.
Keep scalding my mouth.
Yeah. Wait, now this is actually the lyric writer.
This is very meta.
Yeah, look.
Miranda Gao, the lyric writer, is in the music video. These are famous Chinese cartoons.
Glory comes from an open heart and the breeze of winter sport. Time to fight from what you want. Come on now,
the budget is like $100. Who is that?
I don't know. This guy cracks me up.
His credit. Come on.
Okay, yeah.
We're about to give it a go.
Oh wait, go back.
Why does that guy remind me of?
He looks so familiar. Do we know him?
I'm thinking.
Welcome to Beijing. We're about to give it
Okay,
a
hold on. Stop. Just got.
What?
I want to see his name.
Oh, his name.
I'm
Sorry.
not trying to he's on a credit. It's public video.
We're about to give it a go.
Jonathan Dixon. Jonty. Jonty. I don't know him then.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a Xinhua reporter.
There we go.
He's a freaking. Can I say it?
Yeah. Now, this guy just, you could, where I think I saw him in that, what was that, Hunchback of Notre Dame movie or something like that?
This is rude.
I'm sorry.
That's rude.
He just looks like, I'm sorry.
I mean, to be fair,
Yeah.
he is a Xinhua reporter.
Yes.
If you're a Xinhua reporter, might as well say Shilhua reporter.
I mean, what
That's
we got to
state media.
realize here is that this is a state media's put this thing out, right? Global Link.
After eating too much.
Now, okay, when you see these white monkey jobs, because that's what this is.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
When you see these white monkey jobs, you have to realize that they're kind of running out of foreigners. Okay, so we got to see who they're going to use here. Let's get out of here. Okay,
Jonty, please stop. Fat Tarantino. Who's that?
She's a TV host.
So she's also is she a shill though? Because we don't know what TV.
We don't know. We're gonna actually for our next show, we're gonna look up all these people, give you a bit of a backstory, so we can figure it out. Because we're speaking from a point of ignorance right here.
Yeah.
Welcome to Beijing.
I mean, to be fair, they make these people look like skin robots.
Yeah.
Like that's how Chinese production works.
Social media content creator.
Oh, so he's a shill.
Yep.
Well, we don't know if he's a shill for the CCP.
No, that's the
he's
normal MO.
He's on state media.
Yeah, he is. Let's take a look.
Together we will go.
He's a
game
localization manager.
Why is he in the Olympic video?
I think he's got something on his beard.
He spit.
I mean, I'm just saying. Yeah, the fact of the matter is, it's just strange because usually what you would do is you would get actual artists, singers, or actors to be in something like this.
When China goes all out for an international thing, they go all out. This is quite literally like, who do you have on speed dial that you kind of know for this $100 budget? Yeah. This is crazy uncharacteristic. These are literally like white monkeys.
Yeah, let's take a look. Oh, that was just a snowflake.
Oh, okay. Yeah!
It's a Monkey King.
Oh, dude! It was Deer Show.
Yeah, it's Deer.
Deer Wang. She likes that. Never mind.
Yeah, remember Deer
Show from the
time?
last episode. She showed up. Yeah. Holy crap!
Yeah.
What is she? She's not even a freaking. They don't give her a title. It's just China.
It just says like her name, and then it shows China. So she's a Chinese citizen.
That's her. Who's that? Rick O'Shea, U.S. So wait, this person's accolade is that he's American.
Yeah, but you know what? There's I know a little bit about this guy, to be honest.
Do you?
Yeah. You know, like back in the day, when I was always in the newspapers in China and stuff.
Yeah. When they ran out of stuff to talk about.
Yeah, this guy, I remember reading an article about him back in the day.
Oh, really?
And he's an English teacher.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's what he.
Why is he in the Olympic video?
Well, that's the thing. I know he's just an English teacher. Well,
which is
just
fine.
An English teacher, but it just shows you they're just taking random people. I know he's an English teacher, and he tried to get this like weird brand off the ground. I think we'll dig into it because I can remember it being hilarious.
Okay, yeah, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. He wanted to make like a Chinese Hello Kitty or something.
That sounds very promising.
But it was like actually awful.
We got to go into that.
Yeah.
So what I'm gathering from what you say is true.
Yeah.
What I'm gathering is they ran out of foreigners. We actually can confirm that the amount of emails we get from people that we knew were living in China, it's dwindling.
Yeah.
Number one, you can't go there anymore.
No.
So the people that decided to stay there, they realized how xenophobic it was getting during COVID, and a lot of people left and they never came back. So the pool to choose from is quite low. You know.
Yeah.
So even for like a big video like this.
Yeah. So let's see who else they've got.
I like
so
his accolade.
Here's the token American guy. So they're like.
The
Come on.
American.
Yeah, they go to Happy Giraffe and find him and bring him out for this.
France.
So she's French.
She's French, okay. She's got no other accolade.
No.
He's from Brazil, this Luis. He loves the Olympics.
Yeah, Beijing 2022.
Look at this smorgasbord.
I just don't know why, but my eyes are always drawn to Fat Quentin Tarantino at the back.
Oh, see, I keep looking at Ginger Man.
Okay,
Gingerbread boy.
We can't make too much fun. They're probably really nice people. So
No.
Apologies to you guys out there.
The criticism is going towards who put this talent together because I don't see the significance.
The criticism is like, why are you in this?
Yeah, why would you do this?
I mean, do you realize what you look like? I mean, look at Quentin Tarantino in the back there. Okay?
Oh, I didn't even see it.
Okay, just he's very, very jovial.
He's probably nice.
He's a great guy. He's probably the best guy in the bar.
I don't mean to make fun of these people's appearance. I want to backtrack on that. I just got to tell you how bad this video is.
Yeah.
I'm shocked that they put such low effort into it.
Sure.
And the foreigners, and this is not to shit on the foreigners. I was a foreigner in China. I also taught English in China. The problem is, this is a top state media.
Yes, Xinhua
propaganda
is top
video
level.
Promotion for the 2022 Olympics.
Yes.
This is the official song.
Yes.
This is crazy to me.
Yeah. You know what else is missing? Is black people.
If we want to go there.
I mean, just saying, like, look, they got like...
It didn't fit the white snowy theme for them.
They got an Egyptian guy.
They did.
He's about as close. So I guess they could say there's someone from Africa.
Yeah.
But they've got like Snow White and the Seven Shills over here. Okay? Seriously.
Actually, I'm going to re-backtrack.
Okay.
Because if you're in this, you're aware of what's happening in China right now.
Yes.
And that's not okay, because boycotting the Olympics is something that I think the majority of people can actually get behind in the West.
Yes.
I mean, we have it's bipartisan. You have Republicans, you have Nancy frickin' Pelosi, you have all these people that are calling for a boycott of the Beijing Olympics. Yet if you're in this video, especially as an American, not a good look. Not a good look. There's a genocide happening. Would you go be an Olympic promotional video for Hitler?
No.
I don't think so.
No, not at all.
That's what this is.
Yeah, exactly. So let's see where this goes. So yeah.
So yeah, I'm re-backtracking. This is not a slap.
That's my Yeah, there it goes.
It's like a shit Frozen theme. Oh, we got some credits here.
Okay, what do we got? Producer Joe Dongmin. Yeah.
Okay,
So just managing.
That's
the
fine.
rights
We don't
and
have to
stuff.
see. I kind of wanted to see Deer Show. I wanted to see what her role is.
She's just Chinese person.
Chinese.
It didn't even.
Wait
put
a
them.
minute. That's go back to her.
Okay.
I have something to say about that.
Okay.
See, what they've done is they got some athletes, right? Well, first they started. You can tell the people who made it are chiding themselves the most because they start off with like the lyricist and the singer.
They do. There's also Olympic table tennis
Yeah,
champion.
so then they go the athletes, fair enough, right?
Yeah,
they get a pass, of course.
Yeah.
They're Chinese. What are you going to say no to the state for being in a propaganda video about the Olympics?
And you've
No.
got the lyricist. You've got a
that's
Xinhua
weird.
reporter.
That's just bullshit, right?
A TV host.
So, but then you get into Deer Wang.
Game localization manager. Again, what? Okay, that's so unrelated.
I
to
don't get it.
everything. Okay, so he's a game localization manager. This guy's whatever Hello Kitty man is an English teacher.
I don't get the Hello Kitty reference.
Well, he tried to make a Chinese Hello Kitty.
I gotta see that.
Yeah, well, I'll show you next time. I'll dig it up. It must be in the deep web. It's from like 2012 or something. Remember, I got a long history in China with this media crap, so that's
true.
how I remember
That's
it.
true, yeah.
Anyway, the fact of the matter is, this guy, why are they not putting English teacher? Because they put game localization manager.
I'm saying, where's his accolades? So that's what I want to say about Deer Show.
Yeah.
That's the deception, though. Because think about Deer Show. Pull her up.
Yeah, I'm trying to go through this.
Deer Show.
I missed her. It's somewhere after this. Sorry, we'll have to put you through this ear torture again.
Yeah.
There we go.
There. So her accolade is Chinese resident or Chinese citizen, right?
Yes.
But she's actually a state employee, a propagandist.
No
She
crap.
has her own show for Xinhua, and they're trying to pass her off. They couldn't pick anyone else.
Yeah, it's not like there's 1.4 billion people out there on the streets.
They picked a propagandist with her own show for state media as the random Chinese citizen.
Well, the fact of the matter is everyone that's appeared so far must be connected to state media.
Yes.
And you know why? Because Hello Kitty Man was also, I remember reading his article in Xinhua News.
Really?
Yeah. So, you know what happens is, this used to happen to me a lot in Shenzhen because I appeared in the Shenzhen Daily so many times.
Sure.
So whenever there was a big event in Shenzhen, I get a phone call and be like, can you come and be a part of this event? Because they knew me because I'd been in the newspaper so many times.
You were like the token dude.
So they would call me. That's why I'm in the newspaper. Last time I counted in the Shenzhen Daily, like more than 13 times. Okay?
Right.
And that's because they know you. So they obviously, these are all people that they have either worked for or appeared in state media articles, things like that. So they just call them up. Hey, we need a foreigner. Who have we got? Let's look. Hello Kitty guy. Call him. That kind of thing. Yeah.
We'll find out more later.
Yes, we will. And
okay,
I mean, we're going to look at all these people. We'll find out.
Yeah, this is too funny. I want to see the ever dwindling pool of white people that they find for propaganda.
Yeah, exactly.
It's fantastic stuff.
Yeah.
So,
do you want to go along with this thing?
I mean, it's kind of related. I'll just go through this real quick.
Okay.
So we've talked about CGTN,
yeah.
Chinese state media. It used to be CCTV.
Yeah.
They rebranded in English to call themselves CGTN to act like they're some global news media company, but actually it's Chinese propaganda. You'll see a lot of the high-level shills working for them. I call them high-level. They have more views.
Yeah.
You have Xinhua, which is the one that you just saw.
Yes.
Which is Global Link / New China TV.
Yes.
Don't be duped. This is straight up mainland from Xi Jinping's mouth.
Yes.
Right? From the Deer's Wang.
Yes, exactly.
This is what they
yes,
say,
right?
So from the Deer's Wang.
Yeah.
But there's also CRI, and we know people that work there.
Yeah.
in the past. And CRI is China Radio International. They also run propaganda campaigns for China. We forgot about them, but someone actually put together a really good graphic. Just pull us out of it for 2 seconds.
Okay.
And what they do in this graphic, you can pause this and look at this later, but the important part of this, and I hope hopefully people can spread this around, but CRI hires predominantly women, attractive women, to spread anti-genocide propaganda, basically, for Xinjiang.
Yeah.
And a bunch of other stuff, like pro-CCP propaganda, but they do it very deceptively by having these influencers. You can bring us back.
Okay.
The influencers that look like they're organic content creators. They don't get the state media label on their content. They go out there and they talk, they do vlogs, they do all this kind of stuff. But actually what they're doing is part of the one click, one follow campaign. And the Chinese government has been caught with its pants down yet again, pumping a bunch of money into a campaign where they pay influencers to look organic on the Western internet speaking English, and usually as attractive females, kind of like Deer Show.
Yeah.
Where they go out there to look like they're just doing daily life stuff so that they can skirt the label of being state media, which we've seen with people like Li Jingjing, who pretend,
and the
ghoulies that just pretend like they're not, and then they get removed or labeled or whatever. But then this is what they do: is they actually go this more organic approach. So CRI has been caught out, and they did a great conglomerate of
it's a good little infographic
at some point.
Right.
Anyway, we'll move on.
Yeah, I guess we probably should head straight to our Q&A section now.
We're out of
time.
Because
we mangled this episode a little bit. It's been fun, though, I'd say. So let's go to Q&A, where we answer your questions and you question our answers. So let's hit it.
Right. Next, we have... Amanda Schwartz says, this comment has been deleted by the CCP Division of Propaganda due to unspecified reasons.
Okay,
nice.
Cool.
I have missed my opportunity. Logo app says, I've missed my opportunity to visit China and even Hong Kong at this point. I don't want to miss the opportunity to visit Taiwan. Is it really in danger, or is Wendy being all talk? You're fine.
Just go.
You're fine.
Yes, like I said before, it's been ramped up a lot lately. It is definitely a very sort of tenuous time right now. That we cannot say that nothing's going to happen. Of course, there's always a possibility, but there has always been that possibility. Every time that we have visited Taiwan, that possibility has been hanging over our head every day. So you may as well just go and do it before you regret not going there. Hey, life's about risk. The greater the risk, the greater the reward,
True that. So sorry, JPN, Hollywood is slowly abandoning China. I've noticed that. And China is dismissing Hollywood. NBA maybe next. Who else is going to abandon China next? Hopefully everyone that's supporting the government.
Yeah.
Hung Tran says, hello, the China Doll New Year song is a techno version. If you have heard the regular one, do you still hate it? We've only heard the techno version. You mean Gongxi? Of course we know Gongxi Ni Fatsa. It's fine.
It's fine, but it's also like it's about as appealing as every time Christmas rolls around, you hear George Michael's Last Christmas I Gave You My Heart. And you're just that's enough, okay?
Enough. Yeah.
Or Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Yeah, it's nice the first time you hear it, but when it's on repeat in the malls,
that's true.
It's like, dude. But yeah, that techno version is disgusting.
It makes me want to die.
It's
the definition of ear rape.
It's terrible.
Professional complainer says, 我很喜欢冰淇淋，所以我现在给你们冰红包，准备。So what he's saying is he's quoting John Sheena.
Yeah, and thank you for the 444. It's not like we haven't seen that enough today. It's crazy.
Following us everywhere. Jonathan Lau, Winston doesn't seem to like the UK, or am I right? Is there a propaganda campaign? Because I had someone reach out and said, why do you hate Norway? I love Norway. I spent time in Norway. I absolutely loved it. It's one of my favorite countries.
I like the UK a lot.
What are you talking about? Mr. ABK1. People feel slighted for some reason.
Yeah, it's weird.
Mark Ruby, a friend and I were discussing the shoes depicting the Tiananmen Square tank guy. Is there any knowledge of the fate of that man?
No one knows what happened to him.
Could have died, could have survived, could have ran away.
Could have just been put in detention, but he literally was disappeared. Nobody knows his identity to this day.
Not usually a good sign in China.
No.
Logo app. If I had a nickel for every time Winston explained who Ballsack was, I'd probably have enough as much as he got from the CCP to downplay the pandemic.
You mean
Ballsack? Not you.
Yeah, the guy who helped dupe the world. That guy. Yeah.
Free speech respecter. Does Xi Jinping know what it's like to be the other guy in China? No. Gabriel A., I was planning a short-term visit to China, but after your guys' videos the past month, I started to consider my choices. probably will postpone it until things get better. I'd probably hold off on mainland China for a while.
Yeah, go to Taiwan. If you want to see real Chinese culture, that's the place to go anyway. If you've got that mystical idea of temples and, all that stuff, dragons, and you'll see that in Taiwan, and you'll see it properly. That doesn't exist in mainland China. It was destroyed. So please check it out in Taiwan.
Right. Son of a bitch!
What did you do?
Me?
Yeah.
What'd you do? You know I'm not doing this.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, Ben Coleman, didn't they make many African teachers dress up like basketball
Yes,
players?
all the time. I remember that.
Kao No says, Aryan originates Aryan. Chinese scholars confirm.
Aryan.
Meanwhile, in Germany, Confucius Institute gets She-Books events canceled. Yes. Actually, I was going to cover that. I don't know why we didn't.
A patron of mine actually, who
Me too.
He's both of our patrons, reached out to tell us that because he's at the university and the Confucius Institute
Let's cover it next
actually
episode,
got the book event cancelled.
Yeah.
Apparently they got it back on track, maybe.
Okay, good.
We'll talk about it.
We'll do it we'll cover it in special. We'll know what happened.
Yeah.
Case closed 93. The CCP would have made Woodrow Wilson proud. Remember, thank you very much. They retracted their message.
Okay.
Sorry about that. I don't know what you said that you needed to hide. Zhi Chia says, all that it takes for evil to thrive is the apathy of good people who do nothing.
Yes, very,
much
very
like
true.
that quote.
Yeah.
James N says, what advantage does the CCP have for encouraging racism? Very, 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 very easy to answer. It creates national unity. And so people who are racist towards the outside world or racist to outsiders will not complain about the central government.
It's when it's us versus them, it tends to bring people together. Like the enemy of my enemy is my friend type situation. So that's the reason they do it. And they jump on this xenophobic crap all the time and drum up nationalism whenever there's some kind of problem within the Chinese government or some kind of big issue happening, a big failing on their part. You always see this happen.
Yes. Alice Lamb says, it's surprising how pro-CCP and pro-authoritarian my mother has become over the years despite living in Meiguo, America, for so long. She conflates Gongchandang, which is the Communist Party of China, with Zhonghua, China. And it's a justified continuation of 5,000 years of culture, also cotton. And I'm very sorry to hear that. Like, I get it, and it's worse. It's getting worse and worse with that generation.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. It's almost like, well, we got no other option. Let's got to support China.
I don't understand, because I've been hearing this from a lot of people, but a lot of the people that immigrated to America, living in America, they're starting to support the Chinese government more and more and more. And it must be all the soft power. Obviously. We're talking about must be all the soft power coming through, man.
I think it's because there's so much co-opting of Chinese media. So before you had free and independent Chinese media, which you still do.
Yeah.
But the majority of it has been influenced by China.
Now, this is true because a lot of the older generation, first of all, they don't speak English. They get all of their news from either mainland China through apps like WeChat and stuff, or from local Chinese newspapers, which we see all over America. We see them here on the East Coast. We saw them all over the West Coast, especially in California. You get them everywhere. Every little town, every little city has their own Chinese language newspaper. In the past, they were independent, but they've all been bought up by the CCP over recent years.
There's not as much in Pennsylvania that we've noticed.
Absolutely.
It's completely different dynamic.
But you get anywhere near New York and it's everywhere.
Yeah, that's
Don't forget that's, especially New York City, it's got such a massive Chinese diaspora living there. So you see that a lot, and it's all just CCP talking points. They're probably reading this stuff all day long, not being able to understand local news, and so it's influencing them. I think you got a point.
Someone asked me if I have relatives that fought in this civil war. No, I'm quite a new immigrant, actually. Jonathan Case, my friend from Xi'an, said she is considered good in China because her skin is white as a white person. That is something you'll hear.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Moritz Strip Matter, I would say that China is not really racist, at least from a Western understanding. If you go 30 years back, China looked the same as Africa's great cities, but there's a weird form of it. It's almost a parody.
I see it. I don't really know where you're going there. But yeah, look.
I see what you mean, but I disagree. I think there's huge systemic racism in China.
Massive. It's just part of society. Look, if you go to China, especially down south where we used to live, where there's a lot of sun, women walk around with umbrellas all the time in the sun, parasols, okay? And the reason is to keep their skin white. It's a big thing. The lighter your skin, the more upper class you're considered in China. And it's the truth. Go ask any Chinese person. I'm not making that up.
One Love says, similar xenophobia here in Singapore by the dominant Chinese community, though less so. Is it the same in Taiwan? Seems to be a feature of Chinese culture. No, absolutely not. No. Taiwanese people are very, very outward looking. Even the older generation are some of the nicest people I've ever met. And it's not to say it's because they're westernized. It's because they're not cut off by an authoritarian government anymore.
Yeah, they have full access to the rest of the world, and that's why they get a lot of influence from Japan. I mean, they were occupied by Japan for a long time. But they get a lot of influence from Japan, from the West, and from developed countries in general. And so, what? What's that?
Sorry.
Never mind. Okay, the fact of the matter is...
Don't read the chat.
No, the chat's bad. They get influence from everywhere, and they're not cut off. Whereas in mainland China, they only get news from the government. They're only allowed to see things the government allows them to see. Yeah. Anyway.
I actually wanted to also not make a correction in addition to that. Taiwan is much more progressive than Japan.
Yeah,
this is no shame to Japan.
No,
but sure. Taiwan is absolutely more. You'll find that Taiwanese people are much more upfront with you in a good way and much more global.
Yeah, I mean that's the whole point, though, is when you have access to all the different parts of the world, all the different cultures around the world, you can pick and choose what you like, and it can form you in a very rounded way. Whereas if you're stuck in a specific society where it's only one way that you're allowed to behave and allowed to do things, you're kind of screwed, you know? You end up in a terrible situation.
Right.
Yeah.
Dude Bub says, the first video I ever saw from you guys was the gutter oil video from Winston. Big fan ever since. What a great way to start.
Yeah.
Has the practice declined since then, Ballsack? Yes, it has.
Yeah, you know, Peter Ballsack, he probably likes gutter oil, to be honest, because it can be like figuring out new microbes and things.
Probably.
You know, the fact of the matter is, the gutter oil thing will always be there to stay.
It's still there.
It's there. But of course, because of so much scrutiny, and it became such a mainstream topic back when I was making videos about and stuff, that, you know, you saw me riding around as terrible video footage in those villages, and people were putting like a fresh oil thing in front of their little food stall to say, look, I'm using fresh oil.
Right.
It became such a thing that, of course, the authorities did clamp down on it big time. But that's what it takes in China. Something has to reach like overkill levels before the government's like, okay, fine, we'll do something about it.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Uber Gugu says, French politician Mélenchon said that one of the biggest news channels in France said that Taiwan is not a country and that the CCP would be in their right to invade it. There's an article about it on Taiwan News. That's very, very bad.
What a horrible man.
David Brooks says, Reportify Media says he doesn't watch your videos because he's all about love and happiness. Are you guys not about love and happiness? I actually think we would be considered much more about love and happiness than a CCP shill.
No, absolutely. Look, the fact of the matter is, if you can only wax lyrical about the Chinese government, then you are doing a massive disservice to the people of China.
That's about hate.
Yeah.
And intolerance.
Absolutely. That
we
means
are
you
for
support
mankind.
You support human rights abuses.
Yeah.
You support the opposite of love and happiness for the ethnic minorities of China and just Chinese people in general. You have to understand that there are uncomfortable things in life that we have to talk about. And unfortunately, the CCP is one of them. And if you cannot point out the faults of the CCP, you're making a massive failure, not only for the people of China, but the people of the world. Because if you're willing to say a bad word about the American government or any other government in the world, then you better be willing to say a bad word about the CCP.
Absolutely.
Because if you look at people like him and others, they constantly criticize the American government. They constantly criticize the Western governments. Developed worlds, they criticize Japan. You know, Japan's not the West. They criticize India. They criticize, you name it, if you look at their videos. So to have this the balls to try and say that you're full of love and happiness because you don't criticize the CCP, but you criticize everyone else, is a lie. So just bear that in mind. Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, I'll just say it. People are like, yeah, YouTube censoring stuff. People are spamming like all kinds of stuff, including Let's Go Brandon, which is fine. Hilarious. We looked it up.
Yeah.
Very funny.
It is kind of funny, to be honest.
It is, but saying it 100,000 times in the chat when people are trying to send messages, maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
David Y, thanks for the free education and entertainment. F.G.
Yes.
David Brooks, what do you think could help Hong Kong now?
If the Hong Kongers left.
That's pretty much it. Sorry.
I mean, it's just the way it is. It's like when my fellow South Africans complain about... By the way, I just want to put this out there. In the last 3 days... The power has gone out 5 times at my parents' house in South Africa in 3 days. Load shedding. You know, and their gate motor You know, like for an electric gate, it's been stolen 10 times in the last
10 times?
10 times in the last 2 months.
2 months?
Yes.
Just give up at that point.
10 times. They've tried, you know, like you have to have an automatic gate in South Africa because it's too dangerous to stop, get out your car and open the gate. So everyone's got these automatic gates. You press a button and it opens, right? And you drive in. Now, the gate motor is a hot commodity to be stolen for some reason. And they keep stealing it. And then my dad comes in and he like puts like rebar and concrete slabs and everything. They still manage to break it and steal it every time. It's incredible. Anyway, the fact of the matter is, the reason I bring this up is that when people like my parents and so on complain about how bad South Africa is, I'm like, look, it's beyond repairable. Sometimes you just have to know when to just give up and leave.
Sure.
Okay? And that's the unfortunate thing with Hong Kong. If you believe in freedom, okay, freedom of expression, freedom of speech, you know, which is the biggest problem with the national security law and stuff like that. If you believe in human rights and all that kind of thing, if you have the chance, you should leave Hong Kong and continue your fight or continue the lifestyle that you want elsewhere where that is actually tolerated. That's my message.
Agreed.
Because it's not going to change.
Power shift. Have you heard of the multiple assassination attempts on Xi? Looks like things are heating up ahead of Pu's campaign of lifetime emperor. Can we nip this in the frickin' bud? There's 2 things we need to address.
Yeah.
I didn't even want to play it because I don't want to share fake news.
Sure.
There is this mother effing clip going around. It's like 144p of Miles Guo.
Yeah.
You know that exiled billionaire dude that hangs out with Steve Bannon?
Yeah, Steve Bannon on a yacht or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know that dude?
Yeah.
Well, nothing against him, whatever, but like the
Sure.
the clip is
Yeah.
being shared around purposely, so it's so low res that you can't even tell it's him.
Yeah.
And people keep sending this to me. It's going around on Parler and Rumble and all these like alternative.
All your hangouts.
You'll find me there.
Yeah.
No, all these alternative media sites.
Yeah.
Which whatever, people can go on whatever they want. I don't
Sure.
care. The problem with that being is that there's no fact checking going on with it. So they keep sending it to us and they're like, guys, we're so fucked. And they're like, CCP official in a secret meeting talks about how anyone that got vaccinated in America is dead.
That kind of thing. Oh,
And I'm
man.
like, holy shit. It's literally just a tinfoil hat Miles Guo speech. It's not a CCP official.
No.
It has nothing to do with that. And it's getting spread around and people are getting mad because I'm saying it's not real.
Yeah.
It's like they want it to be real.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I didn't get vaccinated, so I'm not going to die. And they're like, shit, I just spent $1 million on zombie apocalypse equipment.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, long story short, bullshit. If you see that clip going around, there's no freaking CCP official speech about getting the vaccine. Doesn't exist. Number 2, this assassination attempt thing on Xi Jinping. Where are you getting that information from?
It's just speculation. There's no proof.
Do you have an insider in the
Yeah.
Chinese government? Of course, we would be the first people to tell you about it if that was
Yeah.
a thing.
Yeah.
But no one has that info.
Thank you for bringing it up.
Thank
though.
you. And I'm not getting mad at this person. I just wanted to
No.
address it because it's like
Someone
every
with
day.
the name Power Shift is awesome because he obviously knows.
No,
how
I love
He obviously
this
knows
guy.
how to drive. You know.
I love you, Power Shift. You're awesome. I think it was a good catalyst for us to bring that up because I'm really tired of 100 messages a day
Sure.
asking me about that.
Yeah.
Not to say there is no assassination attempts, but I highly doubt anyone knows about that.
Yeah.
Rum Runner, do you think?
Wouldn't it be good?
Yeah, sure. I guess. Rum Runner, do you think that CCP officials would crack down on someone saying "don't be racist" on Chinese social media, or would they not care about that?
They don't care. Look, when it comes to racism, I can tell you one thing.
They just don't give a shit.
They don't care.
Yeah.
They let the most vile racist crap exist on Chinese social media. That's why when I go search Chinese social media, I can find so many derogatory hate speech towards black people and so on. I can do it right now. I've done it for previous videos.
Yeah.
It doesn't get taken down. They're allowed to be as racist as they want online
Sure.
with no repercussions.
Correct.
Yeah.
Alex Payne, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Bye. I hope you're not leaving forever.
Okay.
Logo app. Heads up in your about page in the podcast channel. It says you're live on Thursdays, not Fridays. Oh,
we
thank you
better
very much.
fix that. We're going to
thought
fix
I
that
did.
today.
Weird.
Yeah. Thank you.
Probably change the time zone as well.
Mm-hmm.
Donnie Saunders just watched Conquering Southern China and it was very enjoyable. Loved baby sea milk and parent Winston. Lol. Keep up the good work. I don't get the joke.
He's obviously talking about that time you rode off and got
Oh,
lost
right.
in the dam.
Yeah, that's pretty funny scene.
Being irresponsible like that. Yeah.
Shame on me. David Brooks. Hong Kong protesters came to Piccadilly Gardens in Manchester, which is always great to see, but sad that they have to do all that.
Yep.
All the best from North Wales.
Yep.
JB says, lots of racist woom out here, just proving your points.
Yeah.
And that's
there we
usually
go.
how it works.
Absolutely.
Laura Marshall, really look forward to your episodes every week. Thanks for keeping us informed. Thank you very much, Laura. I haven't seen you around. Joker, imagine knowing nothing about someone and criticizing them like people do to you.
Yeah, imagine that.
Anna, keep up the good work.
Yeah.
Maurice Stripmatter says, don't turn the frogs gay. Shit, I was gonna.
Yeah, exactly.
That was my weekend plan.
Yeah, man, damn it.
Shit. Falanon, every time you describe... He's got an Estonian and Taiwan flag. Every time you describe something on the screen for your listeners, you say, for those at home, I'm at work listening and watching at home. Yeah, you're always like, for those at home, meaning that means they're not watching.
Well, I should say for those of you on the road.
I would say on the road.
Like listening.
Right? Yeah.
Because don't forget, you can listen to our podcast in audio form as well. But it comes much later than the show. So, you know, we do the live show and then like maybe if you're lucky a few weeks later it'll appear on Spotify.
We're pretty bad at that.
We're really bad at that because we have to manually do it so we forget.
And also it doesn't pay.
No,
not to say that's not an incentive.
No, I mean, we get $0 from it.
But it's a lot of work.
We actually pay for that.
We pay to put it up on those platforms. We get nothing, zero. We pay money.
We actually turned off monetization because we had monetization, but after like 2 years or whatever, we earned $27. We're like, and we're bothering people with adverts for 20, and it costs us like $80 a year.
Knitting and shit.
Yeah. So we're like, screw it. We're not gonna monetize that.
Screw that. Yeah. Case Closed 93 says, when do you join hashtag Team C's? What is that?
No idea what that is.
Dion Chapman, the Lao train is being used to ship all the cattle out.
Oh, okay.
Wouldn't be surprised. Hamza Faizaya says, you ever think that the Wumao super chatting you guys actually trying to support you without being caught by the CCP? Also, glad that you're finally getting sponsors again.
Thank you very much for that. Actually, that's a good point.
Mr. AB says, lost my job this week. Just want to let you guys know you've made my day as you do every Friday. Thank you very much.
Well, that's awful to hear.
Sorry about that.
Dude, seriously, stay strong, stay awesome. You'll get over it. You're going to get a better job next time. Or you might even start something yourself and not have to rely on a boss.
That would be cool.
Who knows?
Be your own boss. Just work from home.
Yeah, if you call now, you know, like all you need to do is download this one like free audiobook or whatever. No, but seriously, I wish you all the best of luck in the future, and we're glad that we can cheer you up.
That's right. Hontus Farmer, thank you very much. We see you all the time, Hontus Farmer.
Yeah.
You just became a member, so
that's
you.
Great.
Crabman, when is the next ADV series Conquering Central Australia going to drop?
Who knows?
I'm trying to stay away from all those sleepy lizards and weird stuff that they have there.
There's nothing there, though.
Not in the center, no.
No.
Madrox303, just some support. Keep at it, guys. Thank you very much, Madrox. And here's a member. Wow, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
David Brooks, where did you get all that walk like a turkey clip? Oh, walk like a turkey.
Yeah, walk like a turkey.
That's a White Monkey gig.
Yeah, it's a White Monkey gig. It's pretty bad.
It's like some ESL teacher.
Yeah. Where's he from? It's like from
Iraq,
yeah. And he was actually being baited by a group of people online.
Was he?
To post like his videos, yeah. Anyway, the fact of the matter is that was one of his demo classes.
Okay.
And how it works is in China, if you want a job at a kindergarten or something, you have to go do a demo class.
That's
okay.
Right. Now I remember.
And so
like a turkey.
So someone filmed it, and then you use that as like a resume. You can send it for a job. So he was actually proud of that moment. Anyway.
So he dressed as a turkey, and he was teaching kindergartners how to walk like a turkey, which is whatever.
We'll find it again.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Anthony, I think it was in my first White Monkey video.
It's very possible. I've used it before too.
Yeah, Anthony Saints. We have this issue. Black Halo. I'm glad I caught this episode live. It's so off the rails. Love it.
Cool. I'm glad you joined us live. Thank you.
Yes, me too. Zhe says, any chance of you guys getting on Joe Rogan? That's now you're bringing that back, eh? Mm-hmm. Don't forget Tetherball Academy Media Group for Drinking Brothers. We need you guys to help out to get us on whatever show you think we should be on. It's your job to get us on that show because we have no sway.
Yep.
Moritz Stripmatter, corporate groups with a backbone are the last vestiges of American capitalism. You know, the thing that won the Cold War. Griffin Year Out says, I've had a massive increase in women approaching me after becoming a member on the channel.
That's good.
That's confirmed. We'll put that on the accolades.
That's
when
not
we
a bad
come out
idea.
with our brain immune support thing. That'll be under that too. Tree Theodore, great work, gentlemen. Hit like and share for fans of SerpentZA and Laowhy86.
Thank you so much, mate. Really appreciate it.
Martin Schemmel says, so there's a German author that wanted to hold a reading about his biography on Ryan, Xi Jinping.
Okay.
At the
Confucius Institute got
it got canceled because she cannot be a regular person, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Daly from your homeboy Burke. I wish Burke would join the show.
Be hilarious.
We'd have him on.
Yeah, absolutely.
To explain himself.
We could have finger painting with Burke.
We could get out our own easel. I bet I could do better than you,
Yeah,
Burke.
definitely.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I had my daughter teach me.
Yeah, my 2-year-old could do better, to be
seriously,
honest.
mine as well. Logo app. Here's some $doos to fend off Chinese ox.
Thank you.
So please don't send in Chinese ox. Oh my gosh. He's been chiming in on Twitter, and it's been a bit terrifying.
Yeah.
JETS says, have you a follow-up for what happened to Ai Weiwei and why? What happened to Ai Weiwei?
I don't know.
I know he had some sort of show, right?
No, we'll have to look into that. I'll look it up.
Yeah, please do. Ai Weiwei's a legend.
You know, like...
Ai Weiwei. Get it?
Yeah, anything? Nothing's coming up.
Oh, and there's some news right there. What does it say? 1,000 years. Oh, no. One day ago, activists says they take a stand on climate change. I don't think that's huge news.
He's still around.
Yeah, I hope so.
Badiou Cao's kind of like the new generation of Ai Weiwei.
He's like the carrying the torch, the Olympic torch.
Yeah. I actually much prefer Badiou Cao's art. It's more
I like Ai Weiwei though. He's cool.
Yeah, but he does like art pieces which are like all
he did some music
interpretational things, and like he'll put a crashed pot in a corner, like with crumple a piece of paper.
He doesn't do that.
He does do that.
He flicked off Tiananmen Square.
Yeah,
which is
that's
crazy.
nice. But he does that kind of thing, and it's like this symbolizes the.
He didn't throw a pot.
There, I bet you he's got.
Look up his art.
Okay, he's got some.
I like some of his art. He also did a song. It's like ni swa ni ma le ge bi. It's like some metal song. It's pretty badass.
Okay, Ai Weiwei.
Dropping the urn. Wait, so you didn't just make this up?
No, I'm not making this up.
Yeah, there's some urns there.
Oh, he had a thing with cracked pots. He's a crackpot.
He's not amused by smashing a pot. Ai Weiwei in an act. So the people broke his pots.
He's definitely done.
People broke his pot.
He literally made a thing where he's dropping a pot and breaking a pot.
Okay, fine. Okay. No, Ai Weiwei says U.S. artist is wrong to smash the vase in protest.
That's him.
It does look like him.
It's him breaking a pot.
So why is he saying it's wrong?
I don't know. Anyway, the fact that he...
Yeah, that piece of art's fine. He painted a bunch of stuff.
If you're breaking pots, it's different to like...
I like Ai Weiwei. We'd also have him on the show.
I like him very much. I'm not saying I don't like him. I'm just saying I prefer Badiou Cao. Can I not prefer him? He's got better, more relatable art. Because like that kind of...
I will agree that Badiou Cao's art is much more relatable.
Yeah, that kind of like, oh, what's going on there? So there's a man smashing a pot and there's a couple of colors in front of it.
Do you know why? Because Badiou Cao is dissident by nature, right? Ai Weiwei got almost forced to be a dissident.
I think maybe Ai Weiwei is more of a classic artist in a sense.
Yeah.
And
sure.
Badiou Cao is more relatable.
You know how we feel about that.
You know what I mean? He's more relatable to the young folk like us.
I absolutely agree.
Who are very old.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah. Anyway, rant over.
I think Badiou is probably my age.
Yeah. Either way, both great people.
Ai Weiwei's your age.
Ai Weiwei's he's like almost my grandfather, or my father's age, I guess.
Yeah. Potato radio, but we never found out what happened with Ai Weiwei.
Nothing.
Send a letter to my Chinese contractor boss for HP. I wouldn't turn in a form. Had shot. What? I wrote I knew that they wouldn't hurt Uyghurs, Falun Gong, Hong Kong, stand with Tiananmen Square survivors. What reg requires they turn over data to the CCP?
Not quite sure what that's all about, but
I guess what he's saying is that he's trying to make sure his company doesn't turn over data to the CCP.
Yeah,
for
maybe
HP?
it's like a test. Yeah, it's hard to tell.
Sorry about that. KT Ong, have you finished listening to your obscure Christian rap album? A lot of people were bugging us. We didn't do what we promised.
Yeah,
we'll start the next episode with a bit of that.
Yeah, we will.
Tried listening to this amazing Japanese band called the Wagaki band. Rock music fused with traditional Japanese instruments. Actually, I love traditional Japanese fused with black metal band called SIGH. SIGH. Great band. Rum Runner. The Wuma argument is going to be that Enes Kanter is not real, but a computer-generated image created by the CIA.
Oh,
they'll
yes.
use the stream as proof.
Yes, they will.
Honestly,
CNN used it too.
No, if Guansha gets a hold of this, it's like a Chinese military forum. I would not be surprised if they used our video to say that Enes Kanter is actually CGI.
Yeah.
From the CIA.
Yeah, it's very possible.
Black Halo 6. I've never been a fan of pro sports, but that man is now my favorite athlete. Yeah, he's awesome. I don't watch basketball either. I only watch football. This man found his voice and is standing up.
Yeah.
Any Muslim who supports the CCP betrays the Ummah, and is in Islam is considered takfir. A fatwa is necessary.
Okay.
Whoa. Let's slow down. Space Boy, thanks for the truth. Lou M. Have you looked into companies that are using Uyghur slave labor and Xinjiang tomatoes in their sauces and ketchup being sold in Canada? And the U.S. marketplace in Canada did an expose on this. That's great. Thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah, look, there's so many angles, and it's very difficult to keep track because it's very opaque. But it's very worth keeping track. Yeah.
Kathleen Morrison, good job. Thank you, Kathleen.
Thank you.
Black Halo 6. I think a 3-hour episode is fine, fellas. Come on. It is fine, but what we notice is when we look at the metrics of like viewer watch time, you guys are having fun now. We're having fun now too. But afterwards, after it's published, it'll drop off the longer it is. And I get that. Nobody has 3 freaking hours to watch.
Yeah, I mean,
that's like more than a movie.
I would if I was listening in the background while I was driving or something.
Yeah.
But
not everyone can do that.
That's true. Okay.
Griffin Year Out says the Virgin LeBron James versus the Chad Enes Kanter.
Yes.
Agreed.
Yes.
Joe Kanter the second.
Thank you.
I always wish I had the second in my name or a third. It sounds so regal, don't you?
I don't know. I like to be the first.
Yeah, we are the first of our kind.
Yeah.
Anna, we who live in a free world must protect our future generations from the spread of dictatorship as well as global warming.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Well, you've got one very big target to go after then.
Those are some of the worst things in the world, eh?
Yeah, one place doing both.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mitch McLean.
Thank you.
Marit Strittmeyer, it's so funny how Mao talked about paper tigers. Little did he know that China is a paper bird and there are no birds in China.
This is true.
Good job, Marit. S2B Original. YouTube vid by Jack Chappell. How Australia controls everything. Interested to get the Serpo and Milko opinion.
Ouch.
Worth another $5 dues. I'm going to ban Australian slang.
Yeah.
Thank you. Black Halo 6. The U.S. troops are for 2 reasons. One is to train Taiwan, and the other is that they are tripwire troops. It's a way to guarantee intervention support.
Okay.
Joe Kantic the second.
Yeah, tripwire. That makes sense because, if Taiwan is attacked and there are U.S. troops on there, that means you're going to have to send in the main troops. That's true. It's actually a very good tactic. I like it.
What are you warmongering?
I really like it. That's some good tactics.
I'm playing
there.
shill
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm a big fan of military tactics.
Yes. Weekly, I look forward to. Wait till that gets out of context. We are not supporting war.
No,
I'm interested in.
Yeah, exactly.
I look forward to nothing else more than this show. You guys are awesome. Keep fighting.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate that. Seriously.
Black Halo 6, the music vid is way more entertaining if you all imagine them wearing SS uniforms. That's might as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Frick. Mark Weissman, ice cubes don't sink. Yeah, the ice cube sank.
What the hell?
In the music video.
That's bizarre.
There's some conspiracy going on.
What's going on?
Why did it even happen?
I don't know why they put an ice cube in the water anyway.
That's
it's
what
like
I'm saying.
It's snowing outside.
Yeah.
It's freezing cold. You want to put an ice cube in your water?
What does that mean? I want you conspiracy theorists out there, figure it out. And why did it sink? Because it's a prop ice cube, obviously.
Yeah, I guess it's like a head, but that it's
maybe
it's glass.
Maybe it's glass.
Maybe it's glass. Yeah.
Ruth Power, Laowhy, your latest video was based in Pog. Thank you, and I wish people would watch it.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely watch it. Watch both of our videos from this week.
Please.
They're very important to me.
I mean, we put so much effort into them. Why do they not do as well as some of the stuff that I put less effort?
That's how it works. The less effort you put into a video, the better it does. Do. That's been our track record.
Next time I'll just turn on the freaking camera and lick a jar of mayonnaise or something.
Remember when I was like, I was on my way home from Huizhou and I pulled into the gas station to fill up, and I literally just filmed with my crap camera how to fill up gas, and I've made a video like how Chinese gas stations work.
It's literally you filling up your car,
and it took me it was just an afterthought, and that did so well
because you didn't have material. You're like, I gotta get a video.
Yeah, I gotta get a video out, and I just put that out, and it was like a million views or whatever. Like, what's going on with this crap?
Oh my gosh, it pisses me off because
I couldn't monetize it either for some reason.
On my last video, I have a stack of citations and what's it called? Sources.
Yeah.
Just to make sure all my data's. I did so much data research about this video, and everyone's like, I'd rather watch you talk about freaking, I don't know, candy or some shit.
It's fine, whatever. It's a good video. It'll stand the test of time. It's evergreen content.
It is.
Yeah.
One person says the ice wasn't heavy. The clean water was fake.
Oh. Yeah.
Cesare JPN says, I didn't know Chris Farley faked his death and went to China to become a reporter.
Yeah.
That's a diss on Chris Farley.
No, seriously. I think he looks like that hunchback from Notre Dame. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. You know, like the Disney movie? You know the Disney movie?
Yeah. How could you mean that in a good way?
No, because he seems very like approachable and nice and cheerful. How do I put this? Like, he seems lovable.
Okay.
He's got that, that swish hair and stuff.
Yeah.
They made him into a lovable character. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about like the old black and white movies with this.
Oh no, I'm talking about the Disney one.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
I'm gonna bring it up.
I mean, what are you gonna convince me that he's good looking?
No.
That the Hunchback looks great?
No, but I mean, he's like looks very nice and approachable. Look at him in those pictures.
Yeah.
He looks. I'm not trying to say he looks like horribly ugly or something.
Sure.
I'm trying to say he just reminds me of that. I don't know what it is. Sorry, digging myself a deeper hole here.
Next, you're gonna say ugly on the outside, ugly on the inside.
No, I'm not saying the guy's ugly. It's
listen, you shouldn't be in a genocide campaign like Olympic video. Yeah. But other than that, you probably
shouldn't be a Xinhua reporter either.
Probably shouldn't do that. Should probably move on.
Yeah.
The Zeitghost says, "Good job reanimating John Candy's corpse." This poor guy. Guys, you need to focus. Probably need to focus on that dude Winston brought up because that sounds funnier to me.
Which one?
The English teacher.
Oh,
guy. The American.
The Hello Kitty.
The American.
Chinese Hello Kitty guy. Yeah.
Black Halo 6 says, "Dude, her name is Deer Wang."
Yes.
It's Deer Wang. Yeah. Straight from the Deer's Wang.
There's a kind of a joke about Chinese girls. The names. It's Chinese boys too of a certain generation. The names they choose, the English names
they pick stuff they like.
Or it's something that's similar to what their Chinese name sounds. And they find an English word that's similar. So you meet the most ridiculous. I knew somebody called Fish. And
go watch my video. It's called
Circle.
Chinese name. It's called Chinese names. Ridiculous Chinese names.
Yeah.
Pineapple. Semen.
Yeah. There's all sorts of weird stuff. Yeah, there's semen. Stone is a very common one.
Stone's not too bad. That's like a 90s soap opera character.
I knew a guy called Tarzan.
Yeah, it might be worth doing another name episode on the podcast.
Yeah, like actual people that we knew.
You know why? Because I got people that were English teachers in China currently. Mm-hmm. Well, actually pre-COVID, but they sent me a list of the most ridiculous names. I didn't even cover most of them. Okay. It could be worth doing.
Yeah.
Shout out if you want to do that. If you want us to do that. Can I get a Tsering Norbu says, can I get a Dazak for Mr. Rick?
Oh, you certainly can. I don't get who Peter Balsack is or Dazak. He's very much responsible for hiding what the CCP was doing. At least going along with it and playing it down and helping trick the world.
Black Halo 6 says, pulled a sea milk and stole it from the chat. Where are the birds? How did they not add birds? Ryan G says, I heard that you're in Pennsylvania. Oh, are you worried about all the vampires there?
No, but that's apparently where all the vampire pencils live.
We're worried about all the Philly cheesesteaks been eating.
Tell you, it depends where you go here. You do see some pretty weird looking people.
Hey, that's not nice.
I'm not joking. No, okay?
I will say it's quite a stark difference, but I'm going to leave it at that.
You go to some of those little dollar store type places, and it's kind of like if you would imagine a P.T. Barnum circus from back in like the heyday of whenever that was, the 20s or 30s or some crap, where they have a freak show.
You realize people in our town probably watch this show, right?
But I'm not talking about them.
You're obviously talking about the Dollar General.
Yeah, well, I mean that's
that
the
we
thing.
went to the other day.
Sometimes I, as a human being, walk into some of these places, and I'm appalled at what I see.
Why? Is it their fault?
No. Yes. Okay. Sometimes yes. Sometimes a certain abusing yourself in a certain way leads to a certain
especially
way.
Drugs and stuff.
Yeah. Drugs and just excessive eating and stuff.
Sure.
Like I'm just saying it's entertaining
because we're super thin.
No, look, I'm not trying to say that I'm like, anything better than anyone else.
Sure,
I'm just saying that it's
than the fact that you did say that.
It's literally entertainment is what I'm trying to say.
Sure.
You know, and I feel very sad and sorry for some of the people I see.
Pretty nice.
But when you see the way some people dress themselves up or don't bother dressing themselves, you know what I mean?
Sure. Like holes in their sweatpants.
You're like, dude, you know, like
they can't afford it.
They can. They're freaking in a shop buying things, okay? You can afford a pair of sweatpants without a stain on it, okay? All right? I'm just saying. Yeah. Anyway, I'm just.
You're like on a hate. You're like a hate spree.
It's weird. Okay. It's weird. Okay. Yeah. Let's move on. Don't know why we started.
I wish I had a button just to cut you off sometimes.
I know. Hey, look.
Those people. You know, those people that you're talking about. They're probably very intellectual and they love to hear high critique of the CCP.
Here's the thing, though. You know,
you mean over there in Tokyo?
I'm still getting used to America.
I'm just
okay,
joking.
And we were living on the West Coast, which it's stereotypical beach and surfers and like bikinis and you know what I mean. You don't often get to see.
It's more attractive.
You don't get to see the creatures
that we see now.
Okay, for lack of a better word. And that's, to be honest, and I gotta say this. I love that about America because it's the only place in the world where you can feel confident enough to leave your home looking like a piece of shit and still be okay. And everyone treats you like a normal human being.
There's something really freeing. Actually, I brought that up in my video. It's like America is one of the only countries in the world where you have a fighting chance if you're a poor dude or someone doesn't take care of themselves, that people will still treat you like a human being.
I mean, look, you talk to them, they're normal people. They're like, good day, how do you know? Like, how's your day?
Don't say good day. I can tell you that.
Yeah, they don't. But the equivalent,
they don't tip their didgeridoo.
No, they don't. But you know what I'm saying? It's just, it's really interesting to me to see this kind of stuff. Okay.
And I am not agreeing with anything he just said. Number two, this is not about all people in Pennsylvania. This is what Winston does. We went to the Dollar General. I'll just be honest. We went to the Dollar General, and it was kind of shocking. Okay, it's a little different than California.
Yes.
So we didn't make fun of the people there.
No.
But you made some comments in the parking lot about, wow, like you know what I mean. And then what happened and transpired is now that's just everyone, isn't it? That's just everyone's like that. Everyone's creatures. No, I'm saying we're not saying that.
No, of course not. No, look, we happened to go to a very rough part of town, and it's just still shocking to me just to see the difference. That's all. Yeah. Having not experienced this in my life before.
I'm not going to run defense on that. I agree.
It's just like, whoa.
It's different.
Whoa. Yeah. Anyway.
I'm shilling. Sea Milk is just shilling. I'm shilling for the Dollar General that we went to. Yes. Big fan.
I got some Dollar General stories.
You know they have people at Walmart?
Yes.
Dollar General could probably surpass that.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's a new level.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
Before we finish and close off that topic, again, I have to reiterate that's something I love about America is that everybody can be accepted here, no matter what you look like and no matter the way you present yourself. That's what true freedom of expression is.
Yeah.
So I might poke fun at it, but I actually appreciate it. So I hope everyone understands.
Absolutely.
That. If I want to wear a suit and go out, people can accept me for doing that. And if someone wants to wear like torn yoga pants with like a big stain on it and like a weird looking everything else and never wash their hair in 10 years, people can accept them for that too.
10 years.
I just pulled that number out the air.
Sure.
It's probably longer.
This person had a good point. The real freak, a guy in a suit at Dollar General.
Yes. Yes.
To be fair, you were not in a suit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be.
Correct.
Chase Cutting Chicken. Hey guys, I run a comedic how-to cooking show here on YouTube. Oh, that's cool.
Oh, nice.
Think Joshua Weissman, but actually funny.
Okay.
Despite your move east, based in SoCal, by the way, are you open to collab? Say over spicy hot pot.
I'm sure we would. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, if we go back,
I have to go back to California in about 2 weeks to pick up my Trans Am.
Yeah, maybe you can meet up then.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing is like I have to.
I don't think I can make it.
Okay, yeah, I have to pick it up. For those of you who don't know, I've got my dream car has been in the paint shop for over a year. It's now reached a point where they say, well, they're telling me like, look, they can't do everything that they said they were going to be able to do, which is fine. Finally, I just want them to finish. So it's going to be kind of like 80% done. So I have to go down and try to make a plan, and I want to try drive it back if I can fix it up.
Right.
Anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Maurice Strip Matter says something I find curious. was that the last Western guys I know in China are all evangelical Christians. You do meet them. They secretly try to sneak like doctrine.
Yeah, remember we knew that guy in Huizhou who was a serious Christian.
Oh yeah.
Remember him?
And he like a billion kids.
Yeah, it was really weird. But
one of his handler.
Yeah, that was his handler. Remember
his
he
Christian
wore that
handler.
like motorcycle helmet with like Jesus is my savior, my pilot, and then he crashed. Remember that? It was kind of ironic. He was the only person that we knew who actually had a serious
like crazy.
Yeah.
That was the problem.
And that's the problem. If you think Jesus is going to protect you the whole time,
In China on a motorcycle.
You probably then are just like, well, I'll drive whatever I like because then Jesus will help me out. Anyway, he had a bad crash.
Yes.
I remember him.
Nice
he
guy,
was trying to smuggle in Bibles and stuff. Yeah, you do get him.
Yeah, you do get him. Some guy with a name, Early Happy Halloween. Thank you. Dion Chapman says a friend's wife was an Olympian for Australia, but was going to boycott the Beijing Summer Olympics, and then the Australian government sent someone to talk her into going.
Oh,
that's
weird.
rough.
Yeah.
Sleepy Doodle says, disappointed I keep up with Chinese singers, and Zhou Shen would have been amazing for this video. His voice would have just been perfect. Yeah, I mean, why didn't they pick actual celebrities?
That's what's
to make
annoying.
This
They
video?
have to choose literally like English teachers.
It's like if they chose us.
Yeah, exactly. To be in a music video to promote the New York Olympics or something if it happened, you know?
I'm CIA says, I don't know Jones much either, but I'm not ready to call a man a liar just because it's claimed true. As one who's labeled conspiracy theorist by official sources yourself, I hope you'll remember this.
Well, I'm not going around saying Sandy Hook was an inside job.
Tell me what we've said has ever been wrong.
Yeah. No, you got to understand. Like,
I'm not trying to hurt people.
No. Conspiracy theories can be dangerous, you know.
Yeah, like
they can
Sandy Hook.
Yeah, it can
Are
really,
you kidding me?
really hurt people. So, you know, we like to speak as much as we can from fact. If we make mistakes like we did with the Dune poster, we will make a correction.
We will always correct it because we're not above being wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
But we are most of the time correct because we do the research first.
Yeah, as much as possible anyway.
I haven't seen. Can you have another soundbite of How Are My Ponytails?
Oh, yeah, that's not a bad idea. Yeah, we need to put up a How About My Ponytail nonsense.
Probably need to do an update on that whole sphere.
Oh, yeah, we've got a big update on that. Don't you worry.
We have had someone on the inside. Someone on the inside that's been leaking stuff.
Yeah.
Black Halo 6, have you all seen the John Oliver episode on Taiwan? I liked it. Yeah, I saw it the other day.
I haven't seen it yet.
Mehek Robin, straight out of Xi Jinping's mouth, aka the honey drool. Analysis, can you guys go over the Costco influencer situation? It's in the media pack.
Yeah, it is. I'll bring it up quickly.
I'll keep reading. Nanda Mari, you guys, my weekly Friday night highlight. Thank you very much. Lawling Quart says the song says "Welcome to Beijing," but they ban all foreigners from the audience.
Yeah.
What welcome?
Yeah, exactly.
Good point. This is funny. This is
okay. So something going on at Costco. You explain it.
So there's a trend right now in the Chinese media. I actually confirmed this with Chinese people in China. It's been going around on Weibo and Xiaohongshu, which is like social media apps in China. People are going to the Shanghai Costco and then positioning themselves in like a parking lot, which parking lots are not super normal in China. It's usually
not like
this.
This is
So the way that's built is very interesting. So they're going to this parking lot and hanging out inside of shopping carts, and they're pretending that they're at the LA Costco.
Yes.
It's like a flex. They're like saying like, here I am at the LA Costco. They're literally doing it because they can emulate it, right? They can go to the Shanghai Costco, and it's hilarious. I love it.
It's kind of interesting.
But they're getting made fun of like crazy in China.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Wasn't there I remember there was a huge controversy about them. They opened and they had to shut because they're giving away cheap baijiu. It was a crazier thing,
So sorry, JPN. I wonder how many NBC will try to spin the Beijing Olympics given the ratings and how they yearly somehow bungle the broadcasting to the USA. I'm interested because no one's really is. I mean, a lot of people are not keen on the Olympics this year because of the genocide.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how these major news networks try to spin this. They're gonna have to say like, we don't support this, but here's this athlete.
No, I think they'll just ignore it like they've been doing up until now.
It's too much of a bad look. Even high level politicians are calling it out. I don't think major news networks will be able to ignore it. John Walsh, thank you very much. Vincenz Max Urez. What do you think average Chinese citizens' opinions would be about that Beijing video? Can it be only strange to Western eyes? All the best. They wouldn't pay attention to it. They'd probably say this is kind of shit.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's all in English, so it would go above their heads. A lot of people, you got to understand, if you saw a song only in Chinese and you couldn't understand it,
you'd be like, whatever.
You'd probably think that the people are singing correct lyrics and everything's fine. You wouldn't know that there's anything wrong with it.
Agreed. Liam says, when are you going to run out of China B-roll? Never.
Never. Don't forget.
This was like from a week ago.
No, this is not even a week ago. This is from the past weekend.
Yeah. We literally have people on the ground in China that are filming for us.
Yeah. Not only that, I've got such a huge collection.
Yeah,
We've got such a huge collection from all the years of filming there. You don't need to worry. We got stuff to go on forever. So, all the people that are like gleefully waiting for us to run out of content, sorry. Not going to happen. No. Never.
In fact, we'll probably just get more and more and more and more, because you wouldn't be surprised the amount of sympathetic Chinese people in China that are to us.
Yes.
Yeah. Mitch McLean, have you ever read the book The Invention of China? Basically, it talks about how there is not 5,000 years of Chinese history at all. We don't need to read the book because we can just show you a map of fragmented China.
Well, also that that's not provable that it's 5,000 years, and they're including the Shang and Xia dynasty, which are basically myths. It's like legends. It's not actually real.
No,
it's kind of like if we are including the Greek gods and like
so when
Zeus
came to the
remember that was part of our history. That's what they're doing. It's junk. There is no such thing as 5,000 years of history in China.
Every country has 5,000 years of history if you want to stretch it that way.
Yeah, exactly.
Native Americans were in the U.S. for 5,000 years.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
So where's the dynasties there?
Yeah,
I haven't seen. WeChat funnels out all the propaganda for its users. Zmail. I came home to my father with some Chinese manners and I sang him a Xinjiang Cotton song.
Oh, okay. So
we need to update our.
We need to update our sound bank. Don't worry, we will. Got ponytails coming on,
and a special.
And we
treat.
got some special ball sacks coming your way. Don't you worry. This old guy. We got a lot of cool stuff coming. Don't you worry.
Would you say that we somehow managed to score the source
we did.
tape from Hollywood?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Dennis Stafford on VHS. By the way.
On VHS.
Dennis Stafford, happy Halloween! Thank you very much. Logo App, you guys are doing so much to support human progress. Progress cannot occur without criticism.
Thank you.
Cloth Swiss says, but you got to understand China.
Yes,
we love that.
We have to find it.
Click all night. Happy Friday. Remind me, who is Peter Daszak? Any tips on remembering his last name?
Good old ballsack. Okay, the guy, Eco Health Alliance dude, who tricked the world on behalf of Beijing.
Dude Bub says, thoughts on John Oliver's latest take on Taiwan? It was good. Marit Stripmetter, the sad thing is that the fascist government of Singapore is now better than Hong Kong. I know, isn't that sad? Black Halo 6, real talk though, why is she skipping all the government summits? Dude is borderline bunker hiding. He does this very often.
Yes.
It isn't normal MO to be out hyping up CCP stuff. Yeah, and I couldn't tell you why that's happening.
Yeah.
Luke Green, hey, love the podcast. Are you seeing any similarities between the CCP and the current U.S. government in regards to authoritarian policies? Absolutely not.
No, watch my video, please.
And
watch his video,
both.
Please.
Yeah.
We actually went into that in detail.
Yeah. Da Foran Chu says, good people are fleeing Australia. We must not delude ourselves. The CCP is certainly a bad actor, but Western democracies are descending rapidly into fascism.
Again.
Agree to disagree.
Go watch my video, please, from this week. I said... Why you got to stop thinking that China's better than the USA, and by the USA I mean the West.
It's unfair to Chinese people, to be honest.
Yeah, please go watch that and watch his video.
Do understand that there are transgressions, especially with what's happening in Australia right now.
Yeah,
that is not equivalent to the CCP.
No,
it's not the same thing.
No.
Jimmy P, cheers for the episode. Winston, please check Reddit DMs for Mike Echo. Yeah, we actually have a lot of guides on that. Pezzo di merda inutile. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sal says, why doesn't anyone use Chinese supremacy to describe the Chinese government? It seems like supremacy is only coined to white. Yeah, and Han supremacy, a lot of people talk about that.
Han supremacy is a real thing.
Yeah. Nick W says, how big are web novels and web novel sites like Qidian in China? I only get to view translated stories in English sites. They're there. They're there.
Yeah, but they unfortunately have to be censored a lot too. Remember when they actually got rid of Chinese subtitle sites because they didn't want people watching foreign movies and things and being able to read the plots of movies? It's kind of a horrible situation, but they do exist.
Soto Sinopoulos, thank you very much. A. Watson says, celebrating my boy's first birthday. He's awesome. Happy birthday to your boy.
Happy birthday. Stay awesome.
Son of Lighty says, just became a patron.
Thank you.
Been watching for a while and looking forward to watching for much longer. Ever think of starting a Discord community? Only if we didn't run it.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to be in charge of what people are going to say. The shit that's going to go down in there.
It's just, we spread ourselves very thin. We're lucky, very lucky to have somebody helping us out in moderating the chat here.
Yes.
Big shout out to our moderator.
Thank you, Jesse.
Yeah. And also on our subreddit. It's about the closest thing we get to Discord for now. Please go check it out.
Natio, off topic. Today was the last day teaching my Chinese students online. Feeling a little melancholy. I'm sorry about that. Look forward to your Friday episodes. Love you guys. Thank you, Kimberly. Appreciate that.
It's pretty awful that's happening, you know?
Sucks. Extreme. Been watching you guys since 2014. I'm from Germany. Sure it's not Sweden?
Yeah.
Here we go again.
Yeah.
That's a joke on myself.
Yeah.
And I'll get an MBA for free in the beautiful country of Taiwan. So excited. That's awesome.
Brilliant. Go to Taiwan. It's amazing.
Black Halo 6 says, Winston, tripwire troops were used in West Berlin by the U.S. and in Cuba by the USSR and the Falklands by the UK. It's actually meant to deter aggression. Yeah.
That's the whole point.
By making the attack of the result of the attack an obvious outcome.
Mm-hmm.
And Kumpsland says Balsac. I'm sure Balsac is not loved in Taiwan.
No, but he certainly loves his baijiu.
Yeah, he does. Big baijiu drinker.
Yeah, because that's what he tweets about.
Shi Li and the KTVs.
Yeah, having baijiu and messing around, getting drunk with the people that,
a lot of bad
mess around with bat viruses and stuff.
A lot of dodgy things happen in those KTVs when the baijiu comes out.
Yeah, I can see.
Who drinks baijiu in a KTV, actually?
I don't.
It's a bit low class.
Let's just say who drinks baijiu.
Yeah,
but it can be very high class.
It can. You're right.
You get very expensive
not
baijiu.
usually in KTV. Usually you're drinking freaking
Hongxing Erguoto. They drink it in there.
Who's drinking Erguoto in a KTV? What kind of people are you hanging out
with?
No,
you know, like usually they'll have some beer and stuff, and then they'll come get the Erguoto and like mix in a tot and do weird stuff. You haven't had that before?
No.
Okay.
That's like extreme. If anyone's doing that, it was me.
Okay.
Potato Radio. Sorry, HP required shots with 0 exceptions for religion and Americans with disabilities. Okay, now I understand. Okay. I couldn't support that, even having had the shot. I wonder what the rule is requiring a company to turn over IP to the government. I see what you're saying. Okay. And Kumpsled, what if John Cena is so uneducated he loves Taiwan instead of China?
It's entirely possible.
Inception. Doc Slothington says, how about a shout out for the old Doc Slothington? You got it, buddy. You got it, buddy.
Yeah.
Black Yellow 6, Google people of Walmart. It's a trope. It's real.
Yeah, yes. That's what we're talking about.
We're saying exactly people of Dollar General, of that specific Dollar General.
Right on the border of Pennsylvania.
It wasn't ideal.
You know, the thing is, and maybe it was just a bad place, but where we went is a place where, because it's illegal to buy fireworks in New York State, right? Yeah. And also, I think there must be something about tobacco tax or something.
I think it's cheaper in Pennsylvania.
Yeah. So basically, what you've got is these places set up, and that's where we went. Is a place that's set up where you can go buy your illegal fireworks and buy tobacco.
Yeah. So it's not going to be like the greatest crowd.
No, and
there was a drive-through
and it's
liquor
a Dollar
store.
And it was even a knockoff Dollar General. It's called something. I've got footage. I filmed there.
Oh yeah, you did.
You know, don't forget that's my thing. I film public and stuff like that. And you know, obviously I don't want to get into anyone's privacy here in the States, but I filmed like part of the road trip when we were moving all the stuff in the truck. Remember?
Yes.
So I filmed that name of that place, whatever it's called. So I'll look it up. And if anyone wants to go and see a free P.T. Barnum show, that's where you go. Okay. Just saying.
Not Your Mother's French Toast. I've been watching you guys since 2017. Thanks for the hours of entertainment information. Jacob S. says, when will you interview your friend Michael from Canada? We are not going to push him to do anything.
You have to understand, privacy is what the dude needs now. And if he never wants to talk about it, that's fine.
Yep. Winston said, Black Halo 6 says, Winston quote, y'all look like garbage and I love you for it.
And it's true. I that's what I keep saying. I can't feel like anything other than like happy when I see this kind of thing. You know, it makes me feel bad. I could literally go walk outside dressed like garbage and people will just accept me and I can go and buy stuff and whatever. You know, where I'm from in South Africa, you'll just get beaten up, okay, if you try to dress like that. You will not be served. Yes.
Really?
No one will. No, dude. Huh. Try to go walk into a restaurant or a bar looking like that, they'll say, get out.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
I don't dress like that.
I've had, I used to have this weird friend who never wore shoes. Okay. Because he was into capoeira, you know, that like Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
Oh, okay.
No, it's not jiu-jitsu. It's that Brazilian
dance
martial
thing?
Arts. Yeah, that thing.
Okay. Like Eddie from Tekken 3.
Yeah, that's right. So as part of his whole thing, he loved this whole idea of being barefoot. He'd still dress normal jeans and a t-shirt, but he'd be barefoot. The amount of times we got not allowed.
That doesn't happen in America.
No, I'm saying South Africa.
Yeah, I'm saying like that.
Like they would,
I get that.
They'd be like, no, you must wear shoes to come into the. And I'm talking about like Chili's level or like Applebee's level restaurants here. I'm not talking about fancy. Okay. Yeah. He was refused for that kind of thing. You got to understand that like if you are going to present yourself like the people we saw there,
but they were clothed.
Barely. Okay, like literally, like I gotta say, like barely. Anyway, so the fact of the matter is, if you try to present yourself like that in South Africa, you're not gonna get served. Okay, so it's freeing. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know why I'm sticking up for some. I mean, I just feel like some people are down on their luck. Savvy Sheila says,
"Hey, you can be down on your luck, but you can still present yourself well."
Fair enough. Good day, Cobbers.
And I'm not saying like dressing in a suit or something. I'm saying actually just learning how to put on a t-shirt.
Sure. Winston, the peeps just want to emulate Trump and his brown pants leakage whilst golfing. 'Twas offensive across the news. Sending loads of happy chats from Australia. What did you just say?
I have no idea what he just said.
It was funny, but I don't know what it meant. Yeah. Sorry, JPN. Wait, you two are in Pennsylvania. You ever know or ever run into regular car reviews? I smell collab. Actually, I've spoken to him over email a couple times.
That's cool, yeah.
And I do watch them, yeah. Rooftop Focus, longtime follower. Stay awesome.
Thank you.
Black Kayla 6 says, my email is full of super chat receipts. Lol. Good luck explaining that to your wife.
Yeah.
What is this super chat with this ADV pod? Is that another woman?
Yeah.
Damn, Winston, what do you got against Alex Jones?
Nothing. I told you, I think it's hilarious what he says. But, you know, again, I got to be a realist as a rational human being that when you've got someone like that, I cannot, in my right mind, say that he is a legitimate news source. Okay? I see him as entertainment, a conspiracy theorist, and someone who may be right on something sometimes, but
also be hurtful.
Very, very wrong on many things, and sells, you know, what do you like?
It's
brain force. Snake oil stuff, yeah. Whatever. Maybe some people believe in it, and you can believe in whatever you want, you know. But yeah, I got nothing against him personally.
No.
Like, you know.
No.
I just think he's weird.
Sure, we don't need to, yeah.
You know
Free speech respecter. You did a video on the dynamics of the CCP, the factions. Also on how one is elected to the chairmanship. Only within, yeah. Did you do a video? Not quite. Chinese Ox! Chinese Ox is in the super chats. As I sit here looking at my Burke painting and listening to my favorite band, Rape Ape and the Beach Monkeys, I have one thought. Why is my footage still up? Oh, God. Yeah. I know it's a joke, but it actually makes me scared.
Probably think about taking that down someday.
Probably.
Yeah.
What if he's actually like turning into him slowly?
Yeah, maybe.
Jan Chapman, Australia has one of the highest traveled populations. 2 years without traveling, of course, there's a huge exodus. Most Australians actually agree with what we've done to stop the CCP virus. That's interesting to hear that alternative opinion. Thank you.
Yeah.
Adam, we need more Chinese espresso. Stop! The thing is, I know how we should do a whole podcast episode where we cringe at our bad shit.
And our old stuff.
Because we just did that today.
We found some old stuff that we had posted on our ADVChina.
I used to make music videos out of the ADVChina videos.
Yeah.
And they're so bad.
They're terrible.
But they're fun.
Yeah, we'll do a cringe reaction at some point, yeah.
I was turning red when I was watching them.
I know,
it's just
so
me
bad.
and you.
Yeah, it's so bad.
Nothing like a cold beer just in time for ADVChina. Cheers to you, Adam. Machiavelli.
Thank you.
Sorry that all I can scrap. Will you play Fatal Frame 5? That is random as hell, my friend. I actually never played those games.
Fatal Frame was good on the PS2.
I rented the first one. I had just finished Silent Hill 3, and so compared to that, I was like, eh.
It's a different thing.
Yeah. Black Halo 6. I don't have to explain shit. I gotta support my boys. Winston, did you ever make a decision on that Lay's Real Talk lady? She seems fine.
No, not a real decision. I've got to be honest with you. I haven't gotten around to watch it.
I watched her stuff. It seems fine. Fine.
Good.
On the assassination coup attempt stuff,
it's tough. You know, people sometimes. Yeah, it's tough.
Doc Slothington. All right, hear me out. A drinking game where you take a shot every time Winston says, "Here's the thing," or you have to understand. Love the show, yeah.
That could work.
You'd be dead.
Yeah, it could work though.
Logo app. I warned you about Chinese Ox, and you did. This chat's getting meta as hell.
Yeah, it is. Really is.
Jeez. Okay, sorry for going out long.
So, yeah, we've reached the end of our super chats. Actually, imagine that, guys. Wow. Thank you so much for joining us today and being a part of this conversation. Again, it's a very important conversation we have each week. Not only are we talking about the things that are really relevant in China right now, but having you guys interact with us means the world to us. It's our favorite part of the week.
It is.
Yeah. Can't wait to see you next time. You know, take it easy. Be nice to each other. You know, what was that? Be excellent to each other and party on, dude.
And don't make fun of people and they have stains in their sweatpants.
You can.
Or else Winston will go on live stream to call you out.
No, you certainly can. Seriously, though. And don't shill for the Chinese government.
Most importantly.
All that kind of stuff, if you can help it.
Sure.
And I'm not going to cut myself off this time. And, it's a bit of a running gag. I'm always cutting myself off, but I think I'm going to make it this time. Okay, so let's count down from 5. 5, 4, 3,